All right, we are here, folks. We are here. We are live. 5 p.m. local time here in Alberta. We've got a hockey night in Canada matchup between the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. How are we feeling? How are we feeling, folks? What's going on, Unseen Bones? What's going on, Rick? Good to see you again. Scoopy Kitty Litter, good to see you again as well. Oilers Drive fan, how you doing? iPod, how you doing? We want Kitty and share. What's up? No clue. Hey, good to see you again, Talkative Introvert. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Zane? I bet you $100. McDavid scores and hello. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna bet against you. So, what's up, Gold? How you doing? Been fighting demons for the past few days. I've been really tired, cramming math and work right now. Oof, brutal. Make sure you take care of yourself. Stay hydrated too. Should be a fun night. I certainly hope so. I think it's going to be a very fun night. Hey, what's up, Cecily? How are you doing? Danny, how you doing? Kiga, how are you? Me as a Pens fan. We lacking that Malkin magic, I swear. Dude, I saw Pittsburgh today. Blew a 5-1 lead in the third period to San Jose. What the heck was that all about? What the heck happened there? Well, there's water with your tea, I'm assuming. So it doesn't matter if it's just water, if it's flavored or tea, whatever the case is. One day closer to Wallman returning, yeah. Who comes out of the lineup on the defensive core when Wallman's back? Do you take Emberson out or do you take Regula? I'd probably say Regula, but that's just me. Crosby sold that game. Oh no, that doesn't happen very often. I despise this song. That stupid commercial in the playoffs last year. What's up, Supri? Freddie Hattie incoming. Oh my God. If Trent Frederick gets a hat trick, you know what? I'm going to add Trent Frederick to the jersey list if he gets a hat trick. Him and Janmark. If either Frederick or Janmark get a hat trick this season, I will buy whoever gets one, their jersey. I am a hater. Hey, what's up, Gordon? Good to see you again. How are you? When Roslovic comes back, I'm assuming Lazar comes out. Or Tomaszek. Even though, based on merit, it probably should be Frederick that comes out or Janmark. Brown Hattie was more possible. It was. I really wish he would have got one. Oilers are going to win 5-1. That's a pretty bold prediction. I like it, though. If Janmark gets traded and gets a hat trick, do you buy his jersey? No, absolutely not. It's got to be on Edmonton. Got my blue hat and my McDavid card. Let's go. Love that. Do you think McDavid could ever reach as many cups as Chris Kunitz? Man, Chris Kunitz, what a legend. Gets to play for Team Canada at the Olympics in Sochi. Wins, did he get 3? Was he on the 2015 and 16 teams? Or 2016 and 17? Oh, yeah. Kunitz won a cup with Anaheim in 2007, right? Knew it. I forgot he was on Anaheim. That's wild. Good for him. What a career. What's up, Slane? How you doing? 2007 peak year. Don't Gold. Don't do it. That was the year that it was 2006 that they traded Chris Pronger, the Oilers, that is. It was summer 2006. It was like a few days after they lost the Stanley Cup final to Carolina. They traded Pronger. And then mid-season, they couldn't get a contract done with Ryan Smith over about $100,000. And Kevin Lowe traded Smith in early 2007. Terrible year as an Oilers fan. I don't want to talk about it. He was. Erica. I forgot Anaheim existed. Anaheim's having a good season. They lost today to New Jersey, but I told everyone at the start of the year, before the season even started with my season predictions, keep an eye on Anaheim. Now, I didn't think they would be first place in the Pacific right now, but I did think they were going to make the playoffs. They have a very exciting young team right now. And, of course, good coaching. Hey, what's going on, Coolistic? How are you? Smith was a legend. Ryan Smith was my favorite player of all time growing up. What do you think of the Hughes trade? I feel like Vancouver could have got more, honestly. I think Vancouver could have got more. I feel very bad. Feel very bad for Canucks fans. Because everyone in oil country, if McDavid did not sign his extension, if McDavid had left, or if McDavid ever gets traded, or Draisaitl, right? We're all going to be heartbroken, and I don't wish that on anyone. I don't wish that feeling on anybody. Vancouver, they traded Horvat a couple years ago. Now Hughes. That sucks, man. Like, that's brutal. I agree, Gold. I think they should have been able to get another first or two. This is not a culture. I don't know what the issue is. Honestly, I can't even speculate on what's going on in Vancouver, because it's just such a mess there right now. I don't even know what to say. As an Oilers and Wild fan yesterday was crazy. Sorry for Vancouver. You must be excited though. Minnesota is going to be quite the wagon. If Edmonton plays Minnesota in the playoffs, that's going to suck. I might not even watch the series because they also have the goaltending. "45-second unskippable by ad." Okay, that's brutal. I don't control what ads play, so whatever ads you're getting, I apologize. Canucks are the league's farm team right now. Ugh. Yeah. Also, good to see you again, Carolina. Help me with Cal. Why do you always ask the guy that does not know anything about math to help you with math? Yo, Small, welcome back to the locker room. Thank you once again for your support. Appreciate that, my friend. Oh, yeah. Oilers fans travel well. I was actually offered tickets to the Montreal game tomorrow, but it was too close. I was offered those tickets a couple days ago, so I didn't have time to book a flight or anything. But if you're watching, if the individual that offered me those tickets is watching, just letting you know that I truly appreciate that. What's up, Sean? New goalie time. Let's go. What's up, Jep? Who leaves Vancouver next? It's inevitable. They're probably, they have a lot of guys with no move clauses, right? But they might be willing to waive. They're probably going to try and move Evander Kane before the deadline. I imagine he's gone. Not like he's long tenured or anything. They're probably trying to get something for Kiefer Sherwood as well. I don't think they're going to re-sign him. Connor Garland? Does Garland get traded? He's an absolute dog, and I would love a Connor Garland type player in the playoffs. Thought about changing my pick to a Flames photo for a bit there, but held back the darkness. McKenna will look good in a Nucks uniform. Honestly, I would be okay with Gavin McKenna going to Vancouver. Not even an issue. That would be very cool for them. Hey, sounds good. Sounds good, talkative. I appreciate that. Enjoy. Do I think the Wild are Cup contenders now? I mean, I think they are much better than they were yesterday, despite what they gave up. Candy store I work at is closing at the end of the year. It was a store that hired people with developmental disabilities, and I'm on the autism spectrum. Nerd, I am really sorry to hear that. That sucks. That really sucks. I hope you're able to find something very, very soon. Absolutely. Man, a candy store would be so much fun to work at, too. Hopefully you land on your feet very quickly. Did they just give you the news? Man, giving you that news before Christmas? Come on. Someone beat up my lungs 56 times today. Yo, apparently there's like a really, really nasty flu strain going around. Like, just absolutely brutal. So stay safe out there, folks. What was your last question? I might have missed it. Sorry. You know how I call the Oilers Soilers? What do you call the Penguins to troll them? Just curious. I actually don't dislike the Penguins. I love Sidney Crosby. I liked when they were winning cups. Pittsburgh is a very neutral team for me. I don't troll them. I hope so too, nerd. I hope so too. You got this, my friend. Bring up how they killed Pete the Penguin. Oh, no. What do you think the Oilers will be willing to trade away? Savoy, Howard, who would be the needle pushers? I honestly think Savoy and Howard are untouchable. I'm not going to lie. I think those two are literally untouchable. But I think Edmonton, I think Stan Bowman is likely willing to move pretty much anyone if he has to. I don't get the sense that Bowman wouldn't move a specific player if the right deal came along. I think there's a lot of upside to Howard. A lot of upside. Once he figures out how to play a two-way game, that's going to be a very good player. He has an NHL-ready shot, and the hardest thing to do in the NHL is score goals. Howard is going to be able to score goals. Pete the Penguin or McDavid? Well, considering Pete the Penguin is no longer with us, I'm going to say McDavid. Thoughts on the second guy we got in the Jarry trade? Sam Poulin. Watch some highlights. He's a skilled and also kind of grindy forward. Could be a Max Jones type. Could be a Trent Frederick type. I don't actually know what he will be. He's 24, so the fact that he's not able to hold down a full-time NHL job right now makes me think he might just be like a career AHLer, but he's doing well in the AHL this season. Point per game down there. Appreciate that, no clue. Yes, hit the like button. I don't know what the goal is for likes tonight. I'm not even paying attention to the numbers. We're just here to enjoy the vibes. Pickard for Swayman. Yeah, all right. Hey, appreciate that, Kiga. I don't know. I don't mind the trade. You got to take risks sometimes. Is it a big risk? Yes. Does Jarry have a lot of red flags? Yes. I am not arguing against any of that. But sometimes you have to take a risk. You have to try something new. And I think the Oilers were overdue for that. I'm happy Stan Bowman went out and tried something with the goaltending. Also, they're playing the anthem, so that's why I'm taking my hat off. Y'all can start making fun of the hairline. Like your content, but sorry, go Leafs go. Hey, no worries, Leafs fan. Appreciate you tuning in. I imagine you'll probably be tuning in to Steve Dangle tonight too, so anytime Toronto scores, I'll be looking for you in my chat. Get that hat back on, bro. Come on, my hair's not that bad. Who do you think is going to win this one after seeing the Sharks upset the Leafs? I'm expecting the Oilers to steal another win because the Leafs are going to leaf. It's very possible. Toronto's been playing better as of late, so it's going to be a tough game. I don't know. I mean, I did pick Edmonton 4-3 in overtime. We'll see how it goes. Hey, what's going on, Dima? Good to see you again. How are you? Can't wait for the Dangle crash out. Oh, no. Dangle. I love Steve Dangle, man. We love Dangle here in oil country. He's just a legitimately good person. Big Dangle fan. He has his penguin helmet on. Oh, geez. Somebody will crash out tonight. Will it be me or will it be Steve Dangle? Nah, I won't crash out tonight. I agree, Hybrid Hunter. I agree. That was great. Look at Dennis Hill to be .933 save percentage for Toronto. That is wild. What's up, David, with the $5 super chat? I always said trade Stu, but not trade him for just anyone. Why can't Bowman do any sneaky trades? Penn should have retained some of that salary. I don't disagree. Retained salary would have been nice. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. I'm taking the glass half full approach on this one. All right. Puck is dropped, folks. McDavid wins it. Nugent Hopkins cannot get it in deep. Lola, thank you. Member for 8 months. Appreciate that. Have you on one screen, Steve Dang on the other. Very nice. Nugent Hopkins forechecking behind the Leafs net with McDavid. They're battling away for it. Matthews takes it from McDavid. He gets it up to Domi, who's playing on Matthews' wing tonight. Nice job by Hyman to keep that play alive at the blue line, but that's going to be sent up the ice by Stetcher. Here's Evan Bouchard. He'll reverse the puck behind his net. Takes a funny hop, but Matthias Ekholm will pick it up. Ekholm waiting for the Oilers to finish a change here. Ekholm up the middle of the ice finds Matt Savoy. Savoy gets it into Podkolzin, and the puck kind of rolls lightly to Hildeby, and he's just going to hang on to that. I forgot to start the clock. My bad. All right. Draisaitl's line out to take the face off here. Savoy steps in after Draisaitl kicked out of the draw. Puck won by the Leafs. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who had a bit of a scare the other night, is back in the lineup for Toronto. There was a concern that Ekman-Larsson would not be able to go, but the injury is not nearly as bad as it appeared, so that's good news for Leafs fans. Matthew Savoy trying to get the puck out of his own zone. That's kept alive by Nylander. He spins away from Nurse. Here's Nylander. He's going to... Oh, he got pickpocketed by Draisaitl. Does a nice job to steal it, but Nylander keeps the puck alive. Puck to the near corner for Regula. Finds Podkolzin, and Podkolzin up the middle, and nobody can grab it. Kept in by the Leafs. Behind the net to Tavares. Here's a centering pass, and it'll come to Benoit. Benoit sent in front by Riley, and Tavares, he's trying to move it in front for the Leafs. Toronto with a lot of pressure here. Edmonton unable to get it out. Puck to the blue line, and it does get out. Here's Jarry. Skates out of his crease. Jarry already rocking the Oilers gear. I thought it would take him a while to break that gear in, but apparently not. Here's Darnell Nurse. He's waiting to make a play. He'll skate it forward, plays it to the left wing to Emerson. Emerson gets it in to Frederick. Adam Henrique on the forecheck, grabs it. Behind the Leafs net to Janmark. Centered in front to Frederick, and he just puts that over the net. Nice early look for Frederick, and then he throws a big hit in the corner as well. So Trent Frederick already looking a bit engaged here. 10 seconds into his first shift. I'm very happy about that. Puck kept alive by the Leafs in the Oilers zone. Thrown on net from a sharp angle, and that's an easy stop for Jarry. Puck comes to Trent Frederick now. He'll try and get it around Lawton. He takes a hit. Comes to Frederick. Here's a one-timer from Bouchard, and that was easily stopped by Hildeby. Bouchard didn't get much on it. Nice job by Tomashek on the forecheck here. He steals it. But Easton Cowan, he'll grab that, and the Leafs are going to send it in deep by Stetcher, and they'll go for a change. 17:10 to play here in the period. Here's Tomashek with a shot, and that's stopped by Hildeby. Puck kept alive. Here's Bouchard now. Gets it in deep, but the puck goes just over his stick, and it'll be sent down into the Oilers zone. Not icing. Here's Toronto now trying to move the puck forward. Here's Mangiapane through the neutral zone. And Morgan Riley, he'll send it up the middle. Oh, a nice steal by Bouchard. He'll find McDavid with speed. Connor McDavid walks in. Breakaway. Scores! Connor McDavid makes it 1-0 for the Oilers off of a great play by Evan Bouchard. Found him in transition. McDavid just skated through everybody with speed, splits the defense, and he beats Hildeby with a deke on the forehand, and it's 1-0 for the Oilers. Nice early lead for Edmonton. Nice goal. Great job by Bouchard, prevented the zone entry, and then he finds McDavid, and I don't know where Ekman Larson or Morgan Riley was going there. He was lost in no man's land, and McDavid was able to just skate by him. He saw space, took it, and wow. That's a good start for the Oilers. And look at McDavid celebrating that one. He's feeling good. Love that. Puck is going to be sent in deep by the Oilers, kept alive. Here's Domi now. Oh, and Domi high sticks Podkolzin, in, and the Oilers are going to get an early power play now. Domi for high sticking, and Edmonton has an opportunity to build on an early lead already in this game. Big peepee, that's right, big peepee. All right, so the Oilers with a power play. Max Domi, 2 minutes for high sticking. Shots are 3-1 Edmonton. An early goal from Connor McDavid. Draisaitl stepping in, take the face off, and the linesman saying something, telling someone to reset. Draisaitl gets kicked out of the face-off dot. Of course he does. Here's McDavid now off the draw. McDavid loses it. Toronto sends it around the boards, and here's Draisaitl. He keeps it in to McDavid. McDavid left circle. Spins away by Lawton. Gives it to Bouchard at the point. Bouchard to McDavid. McDavid to Nugent-Hopkins. He bobbles for a moment. Gives it back to McDavid. McDavid spins away from Lawton. Lawton's all over McDavid. He skates into the middle. Here's Draisaitl. Tries to center it. Nice save by Hildeby. And the Leafs are going to not get this puck out. Bouchard keeps it in. Oh, and Bouchard tried to send it across to McDavid, but that went off of Lawton's skate. And here's McDavid with speed again. He tries to walk in, sends it across to Nugent-Hopkins, gives it to Bouchard. Nugent-Hopkins to McDavid, centers, Hyman, where is it? It's loose. Draisaitl finds it. Oh my goodness. How did that stay out? That puck was loose in the crease, and I think Jake McCabe might have got a block there. Here's Draisaitl now. He'll bring it into the zone. That's stolen by the Leafs. Wow. They're saying Troy Stetcher stopped that opportunity that was just sitting in the crease for a moment. Lots of traffic in front. And here's a giveaway by the Oilers. Here's Yarncroc with a shot and a good save by Tristan Jarry. Oh, and a puck bounced in front of the net really awkwardly. And now it's into the neutral zone for Draisaitl. He'll drop it to McDavid. He'll enter the zone with 35 seconds left on this power play for Edmonton. McDavid, puck bouncing. Leafs are going to steal it. And they're going to send it up. And here's Nyes. One-on-one against McDavid. Nyes shoots. Stopped by Jarry. Easily stopped by Jarry. Good save. Good early save for Jarry there. Matthew Nyes is an absolute dog, by the way. If you're not familiar with Nyes' game, whew. All right. 14:45 to play here in the first period. Off the face-off. It's going to be sent into the neutral zone. Leafs are just going to kill the rest of this power play. Here's McCabe now. He'll send it across. And that's sent all the way into the Oilers zone. Stopped by Jarry. Gives it to Nurse. And Nurse up the middle. Just out of the reach of Savoy. But Savoy will send it in deep. And good job by the Leafs. Good penalty kill. Oilers do not build on that lead. Puck behind the Oilers net. Darnell Nurse. Sent up the left or right boards off of Savoy. It deflects onto Hildeby, and then he'll hang on to that. And there's some rough stuff after the whistle here. I don't know who's all getting involved. Looks like Mangiapane, Henrique, Benoit, Tavares. They're all kind of giving each other the stinky gloves here. Yes, golden. Love K-pop Demon Hunters. Love the music. The stinky fingy. Yeah, of course, Everett. Not a problem at all. Happy to contribute to a live stream for once. Here's the face-off. Offensive zone. Curtis Lazar is going to take it. He wins it back. Comes to Stastney. Puck towards the Leafs net, and that's stopped by Hildeby. Easy save by Hildeby there. Had a bit of traffic, but Hildeby saw the traffic easily. They had the actresses who played Huntrix at the Macy's Parade in New York City on Thanksgiving. That's very cool. I love that. Offensive zone draw. Puck along the half wall. Janmark can't come up with it. It's kept alive by Stastney. He tries to get a shot towards the net. He flubs it, but Trent Frederick keeps it alive to Janmark. Janmark centers it out in front. Here's Trent Frederick with a shot, and that's stopped by Hildeby. Janmark trying to also center it, but that's stolen by the Leafs, and they're going to skate this out of trouble here. Here comes Toronto. John Tavares walks in the Oilers zone. Tavares cycles it around the boards behind the Oilers net. Janmark, he knocked someone down. Looked like McMahon, and Frederick will come up with it. He'll give it to Janmark with some speed. 2-on-3 here. Janmark can't get the puck in deep. Poor Janmark, man. He just has hands of stone. He can't stick handle or make moves or nothing. And Toronto's going to ice this with 13:17 to play in the first period. Everett with the $5 super chat. Jarry's going to show all the haters that they are out of line. I really do hope so. Really do hope so. I have not. I've had Claire Obscure downloaded for months, and I just haven't gotten around to it. All right. Leon Draisaitl, offensive zone draw. He'll lose it. Puck comes to Morgan Rielly behind the net. He sends it around the boards, and that's going to be icing again. With 13:09 to play. Another icing against the Leafs. Jarry's made a couple good saves so far. Nothing too crazy. I don't think he has a high danger save yet, but he looks calm, which is nice to see. Another offensive zone draw for the Oilers. Leon Draisaitl in the second line. Oh, no, Draisaitl's loaded up with McDavid here. Trying to take advantage of the icing and line matchup. Draisaitl gets in on the forecheck. McDavid to the point. Puck bounces behind the Leafs net. Looks like McDavid was all tied up. Regula keeps the play alive. He'll play it behind the net. Center to Draisaitl, and that's blocked by Morgan Rielly. And the Leafs will send it through the middle of the ice. Here's Nurse trying to get it by McMahon. McMahon does a good job on the forecheck here. He picks it up. Being hounded by Nurse. Nurse knocks McMahon down, but he gets it to Matthews. Matthews centers it, and Nurse will steal it. Here's Nurse now. Up the left wing, Draisaitl. He spins away from a check on his backhand, gives it to Bouchard, and that's going to be offside with 12:31 to play, as we'll have our first commercial break of the game. Also, David, I saw the $2 super chat. Finally got the first goal right. Thank you. What's going on, Mr. NHL? Good to see you. Hey, no name calling. No name calling. Poor Quinn. Poor Quinn Hughes. Don't say that about Quinn. Always nice to see you, Captain Selly. I love that McDavid celebrated that goal. Everett with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Everett. I owe the community gifted memberships as well because I did forget a victory chain a few weeks ago. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I did not forget. Don't worry. There will be gifted memberships after the first period and gifted memberships after the second period. So for those of you who got a gifted membership, looks like Erica got one. Kira got one. Never lucky enough. Well, you're pretty lucky today. Kevin as well. And Abdi. Congrats on those gifted memberships that you got. Make sure you say W Everett. Thank you, Everett, for gifting those. What's up, Yan? Game feels super electric, and McDavid doesn't look depressed when scoring. Yeah, I'm very happy that McDavid was celebrating there. Lurker gets a sub, absolutely. If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, if you're enjoying the fact that Edmonton's up a goal already, hit that like button. Goes a long way in supporting the channel. That's the best way to support the channel, honestly, is when you hit the like button, YouTube pushes the content through the algorithm. Thoughts on the Stu trade? I did make a video on all of my thoughts on that, just on the YouTube channel. Too many thoughts to put into like a 5-second response. Sorry. Here's Matthias Ekholm. Sends the puck in deep. Goes off of the linesman's leg. Or I don't know who that hit, actually. Matthews? Puck took a weird hop, but it comes to Bouchard towards the net. Hyman trying to get it to the goal, but that's stolen by Matthews. Here's Nyes. Loses it to Ekholm. Nice defense by Ekholm. Oilers doing a good job with their sticks in the neutral zone right now. Matthews gives it to McCabe. Here's Jake McCabe with a high flip. He'll put it into the far corner. Tristan Jarry stops it up for Ekholm. Ekholm trying to play it forward. Puck in front of the net. Comes to Draisaitl. Gives it to McDavid. Here comes Nugent Hopkins. Left circle with a shot. That goes high and wide. Nobody, no, not even close to anything. And that went out of play. His mechanics look better than Stu's. The lateral movement is going to be nice to watch compared to Stu. Whenever Stu tried to go left to right or right to left, he always like fell forward for some reason. Jarry doesn't really do that. Here's Adam Henrique, wins the faceoff. Here's a shot by Stastney, and that's stopped by Hildeby. Puck into the neutral zone. Yarn Krok sends it in. Stastney for the Oilers, reverses it. Around the boards, can't get it out. Riley keeps it alive. Puck is sent in deep. Stastney for Edmonton will do a high flip. Bounces, but again, not out. Tristan Jarry shovels that puck into the corner. Leafs trying to come up with it. Puck is kept alive for a moment, and Emberson will send it down the ice. Trent Frederick gets in and negates the icing. Nice job by Trent Frederick. Doesn't have a lot of wheels, but he showed those wheels just now to negate an icing call on Edmonton, but the Leafs are just going to send that back into the Oilers zone. Here's Regula to Nurse. Around the left wall comes to Mangiapane. Nice job to get it to Curtis Lazar. Here's Curtis Lazar for the Oilers. On his backhand, behind the net. He almost takes a big hit there by Benoit. And here's Mangiapane across to Tomaszek, and he fans on the one-timer. Good look for Tomaszek. Puck sent to the blue line to Nurse. Across to Regula. Regula towards the net. Tomaszek hard around. Nurse is going to try and step up and keep it alive, but that's going to come into the neutral zone. Nice job by Mangiapane on the back check to steal that from the Leafs. Here's Mangiapane. He'll skate that through the neutral zone into the Leafs zone. Still has it. Trying to give it to Tomaszek on his backhand towards the goal. That bounces in front of Hildeby, and that's gloved forward. Bouchard trying to keep it alive here. Mangiapane keeps it in. Here's Mangiapane to Draisaitl. Across to Bouchard. Bouchard steps up. Leaf falls. Here's a play. It's centered by, who was that? Mangiapane just put it on net, bro. What are we doing? And here's the Leafs. They're going to send it down the ice. The Oilers with some good zone time and a couple dangerous looks, maybe passing the puck too much here. Here's John Tavares now. The Leafs are just trying to get a shift going here. Start feeling a little bit better about their game so far. Play kept alive by McMahon. Bobby McMahon trying to get it to Nylander. Nylander comes up with it. Centers it out in front. Comes to the blue line. Here's a reactionary save by Jarry. That's a good save with his pad. Kept in by Riley. McMahon to Nylander. Nylander right circle. He's going to be pressured by Bouchard. Bouchard steals it. Has his stick tied up. Bouchard puts it up the right boards, and that will get out, luckily. Here's Ekman Larsson for Toronto now. 9:16 to play. He'll give it to Matthews. Matthews will flip it deep. Nyes around, out of the reach of Regula. Domi to Matthews. Matthews loses it. Darnell Nurse against Nyes. And here comes McDavid with a ton of speed. McDavid walks into the Leaf zone. To McDavid. He'll send it to the blue line. Shot from Nurse that goes wide. Hyman had a wide open net for the rebound, and he couldn't corral the shot. Bounced over his stick. Here's McDavid to Nurse. Nurse waits for a play. Gives it to Hyman on his backhand. Trying to feed it down low. And here's a 2-on-1 for the Leafs. Here come the Leafs. Here's Nyes with a save. Or Jarry with a save on Nyes. Shot towards the Oilers' goal blocked. Good save by Jarry on the 2-on-1. Nyes didn't get everything on that. But Tristan Jarry makes a big save for Edmonton. Let's go, Jarry. Big save there. Here's Regula now. He'll send it up the ice. It's going to be chased by Frederick. Morgan Riley picks it up. Riley in his own zone. Through the neutral zone. Deflected in deep. Here's Stastney for the Oilers. Plays it along the boards. That's going to be taken by Toronto, but no, they still do have possession here. Here's Ekman-Larsson towards the net, and that goes wide. Another shot towards the Oilers' goal. That goes wide again. Ekman-Larsson plays it back to Jarnkrok. Down low. Stastney comes up with it. Stastney up the boards. Henrique finds Trent Frederick, and Frederick will skate it to center. Takes a bump by Ekman-Larsson, and the Oilers are going to get a change. So 5 shots for the Leafs, 9 for Edmonton. The Leafs just had a 2-on-1 where Tristan Jarry made a big save on Matthew Nyes. Matthias Ekholm gives the puck to Bouchard. Bouchard to Ekholm. Ekholm through the middle, deflected in, and Tomashek is going to chase after it, and they're going to say that's offside, actually. Never mind. Is it possible for a goalie to be alternate captain or captain? Yes. Roberto Luongo was actually a captain on Vancouver for a brief time. I agree. Edmonton has to watch the turnovers. I didn't mind the play that Nurse and Hyman were doing to keep the play alive at the blue line before that 2-on-1, but Hyman just didn't elevate the backhand saucer pass. I would have liked to see him maybe try and do a harder rim behind the net instead of trying to find Nurse, because there was no proper coverage there. It's scripted just to test Jarry. And Mangiapane's looking good so far, though. Let's see if he can keep up his strong play in the first period. Just needs Davo. What is Jarry's? No idea. I don't know what we're going to chant for Jarry when he makes big saves. Will we get any points from the bottom 6? I hope so. I certainly hope so. Bottom 6 has been okay so far. I've liked the shifts that they've had. Tomashek had a good one-timer opportunity. He fanned on it. And my Sportsnet just logged me out automatically. That's so cool. Thank you, Sportsnet. Greatest service on the planet. I just truly appreciate that. Thanks for kicking me from watching this game. Jarry still does have a Penguins helmet. He doesn't have an Oilers helmet yet. I'd like to see the Oilers get a bit more than 1 goal, personally. Do I think McDavid passes McKinnon anytime soon? I mean, McKinnon is on an absolute tear, and Colorado's an absolute wagon. We'll see. I don't think McDavid's too concerned about leading the league in points or anything. I think he's concerned about helping his team win some games right now. 7:20 to play in the first. Shots are 10-5 in favor of the Oilers. Here's Bouchard up to Draisaitl. Draisaitl on the right wing. Stops up at the blue line, gives it to Ekholm. Ekholm with a slap shot, and that's stopped by Hildeby. 11th shot on goal this period for the Oilers. $7:08 to play in the first. There's Stan Bowman up in the executive suite for Edmonton. Off the faceoff, Savoy fights for it against Ekman-Larsson along the boards. Ekman-Larsson loses it for a moment to Podkolzin. Puck sent around, kept alive by Bouchard. Gives it to Draisaitl, and that's just a high-risk play by Draisaitl. Did not like that at all. But the Leafs do not maintain possession. Bouchard in his own net, or his own zone, sends it up the left wing to Podkolzin. Podkolzin walks into the high slot. Could have put a puck towards the net, but chose to cycle it around to Ekholm. Ekholm around the boards. Draisaitl, puck hit his stick. I'm not sure if he tried to make a play, but here's Regula now. Oh, look at Regula, walks in. Holy, Alec Regula just walked a few players there, and then his shot went 10 feet wide. Jeez, if Regula had scored that would have been insane. I would have jumped out of my chair. My goodness, Alec Regula, where did that come from? Here's Domi. He'll send it back. McCabe. across the ice, up the middle. Here's Matthews to Nyes. Nyes towards the Oilers' goal. That goes wide. Kept in by Stetcher. Stetcher, puck off of the linesman. McDavid steals it, and it comes to Hyman. Hyman trying to get it to McDavid. He's being kind of pressured in the neutral zone, and here come the Leafs once again. Not sure if McDavid was interfered with there or not, but he couldn't blow through the transition that time. Here's Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins sends it in deep. Puck bounces. Here's Benoit. Around the boards, it'll come to Nyes. Nyes takes a hard hit by Emberson. And Zach Hyman trying to come up with it. Hyman trying to leave it. This puck's still low, like fighting for it in the neutral zone is Hyman against Nyes. Yarncroc comes in for support. Puck is just being pressed against the boards here. Ref's telling everyone to try and play it, and Nyes will come up with it. Here's Benoit. The high flip into the Oilers zone. Puck comes around to Emberson. Emberson can't get it by Yarncroc. It's in the middle. Here's a one-timer. Whoa, and that puck went high and wide. And Trent Frederick now for the Oilers. On transition, puts it in deep. Adam Henrique will be the first to the puck behind the Leafs net. He'll cycle it to Frederick. Trent Frederick takes a hit from Ekman Larsson, and it'll come back to the point for Ekholm. Or Stastney, sorry. Stastney trying to find Janmark. He loses it in the feet of a Leaf defender, and here's Robertson. Robertson flips it, not deep, taken by Emberson. Matthias Janmark now has some time and space, skates it through the neutral zone, waits for a change for Edmonton, gives it away in the neutral zone, and it'll come back to Ekholm. Ekholm, high flip to McCabe. McCabe takes it, loses it, and here's Bouchard now. He'll find David Tomaszek. He tries to step through the middle of the ice. Bouchard's going to step up. High-risk play here, and the Leafs might have a break. Here's Lawton on his backhand. Shot towards that rebound, and they score. The Oilers are giving up too many odd man rushes right now. Cowan ties the game up. Oh boy, that puck. Tomaszek tried to make a play. It deflected, and then Bouchard stepped up at the offensive blue line. There wasn't any forward support back. And then Toronto comes in on the 2-on-1, and they tie the game up. That's too many odd man rushes for Toronto this period. Tomaszek dove. Initial backhand went to Jarry. The rebound came out in front to Cowan. And, yeah. No, that wasn't a McDavid giveaway. McDavid was not on the ice there. Remember, folks, we're giving Jarry like 10, 15 games to kind of get his footing here with the Oilers. We don't judge a goaltender based on one game. One game sample, we are not doing that. So the Leafs, they've kind of controlled play since Edmonton, about the 10-minute mark of the first period, really. Here's a backhander to the neutral zone. Darnell Nurse will give it to Regula. Regula for Edmonton. Finds Podkolzin. Podkolzin with speed. Gets it behind Ekman Larsson, but Ekman Larsson plays it around the boards to Benoit. Benoit loses it to Draisaitl. Draisaitl on the forecheck. Waiting to make a play around to Regula at the point. Here's Regula. Along the half wall, gives it to Draisaitl. Draisaitl looking for a play. Steps into the middle, gives it to Nurse. Nurse, right circle, backhand towards the goal, and that goes just wide. Nurse tries to center it. Draisaitl fights for it from Nylander. Here's Draisaitl. He'll give it to Regula. Nice job by the second line forechecking, using their legs here. Oh, and Regula gives it up, and here's a breakaway for Tavares. Walking in. Stopped by Tristan Jarry. Big save by Jarry on the breakaway. Wow, let's go. The Oilers got to get going here, man. This is brutal. Oh, and here's a play. Oh, and a nice save by Hildeby on, I don't know who that was, Podkolzin. Oilers just had an opportunity of their own. Podkolzin in on his own, and Hildeby, he makes a big stop there. There is so many things happening right now. 2:20 to play. Oilers gave up a breakaway to Tavares. Jarry made a save. And then Podkolzin had a partial break stopped by Hildeby. Here's Evan Bouchard for the Oilers. Bouchard walks the line, bobbles it for a moment, gives it to McDavid. McDavid, left circle towards the goal. That's taken by Matthews, and that's sent down the ice. Is that going to be icing? They're going to say no icing. Here's that Ekholm. Up the middle, Hyman, potential break there. And nice defensive play by the Leafs. Here's Robertson now. He'll bring it in against Stastney. Stastney throws a hit and takes it. But Raw is going to get in on the forecheck here. Puck's behind the Oilers' net. Stastney, nice job to get it to McDavid. McDavid will spin away from trouble as the Oilers are going to look to get a change. Puck comes to Stastney along the far half wall. Here's Janmark. He'll play it up to Frederick. To Emberson, who tries to bring it in, and that's cut off by a Leafs defender. Frederick gets in on the forecheck. Far corner, Trent Frederick, 3 Leafs on him. Janmark looking for a loose puck as well. Here's a puck. It comes across to Cowan. Easton Cowan. Across. Ekman Larson. Deflected in deep by the Leafs. Nurse, a little bit slow to get to that puck, but he throws his man down. Regula looking for an opportunity to come up with it. Leafs doing a good job on the forecheck, applying pressure. Here's Adam Henrique for the Oilers. 47 seconds to play in the first period. Here's Henrique for Edmonton. Gives it to Regula. Regula steps into the Leafs zone. And that goes off the netting and out. I think that went out of play. So Tristan Jarry's had to make a couple big saves this period. The Oilers are giving up way too many chances right now. But very entertaining. Chances for both teams. Both goalies making some big saves. I don't know, Sadistic. I mean, the Leafs have been playing better as of late. It's tough to dominate teams in today's NHL. And the Leafs still have a lot of talent. Yeah, Jarry's had a save on a 2-on-1. He had the breakaway save on John Tavares. The goal that he gave up, it was a rebound that came to Cowan, and the Oilers just didn't have any defensive coverage there. Oh, I agree, Leafs fan. These games are always highly entertaining. I will say, though, it sounds quiet. It sounds quiet at the rink in Toronto tonight. I agree, Everett. The Oilers have to tighten things up. They are giving up way too many looks. Jarry's been very solid. I agree. That's fair. That's fair. I just thought with the Oilers in town, maybe it'd be a little bit louder. Both fan bases like to go at each other, so most of the lower bowl fans seem to be the corporate fans. That's tough. Thoughts on Jarry so far? Good first period so far. Good first period so far. No complaints from me. Back from commercial break. There's only 39 seconds left in this first period. It's kind of flown by, in my opinion. Offensive zone draw. McDavid loses it. And the Leafs will get it up. Kept alive by Ekholm, though. Nice job by Ekholm. Finds Hyman. Hyman on his forehand. Spins away from a couple checks to Draisaitl. Draisaitl on his backhand. Puck is lost in the feet of the official. And Draisaitl's not happy about it. And here come the Leafs now. John Tavares sends it across to Matthews. Matthews with a shot. Rebound. Good save by Jarry. He didn't know where it was for a moment. And here's Ekholm. He'll play it up the boards to nobody. And that's going to be icing on Edmonton with 8.9 seconds to play. Nice save on Matthews here. Matthews tried to go, looked like 5-hole, maybe short side. I don't think he got everything on that shot, personally. But he did make a save. Jarry looked a little shaky there, but no harm, no foul. Good clear in front. 8.9 seconds away from getting out of his first period as the Oilers goaltender, and it's been pretty decent so far. Off the face-off, McDavid. He'll spin around to Bouchard, and Toronto just is not forechecking at all, even though there was enough time to maybe get something going there. And after the first period, we have a 1-1 game. First intermission. Here we go. That was a fun period. That was a pretty good period of hockey. That was fun. How would you deal with the free agents next year for a minor retool for a cup push? I'm not sure. I haven't even taken a look at who's a free agent next year. I know a lot of Edmonton's main core is signed. They don't have too many holes to fill next season, so yeah, Oilers have to be much better. I agree. I thought both teams had their chances. What do you think they do with picks? I think they move on from picks at some point. Don't know when, don't know how, but I don't think Calvin Pickard is the solution as a backup this season. No more. No more. He's had his time. I've been very happy with Calvin Pickard, but it is what it is at this point. Things are going to look a little silly. Give me a second. Here we go. This is what I wanted to do. We're going to take a look at the edge visualizer for McDavid's goal because it was a great play by Bouchard. Great defensive play here. He takes it away, and then he finds McDavid with speed. He cuts through the middle. Morgan Riley had no idea where to go, and then Connor McDavid, he beats Hildeby. Forehand, backhand, forehand, and that made a 1-0 Edmonton. 3:25 into the game. 24th assist of the season for Bouchard. 17th goal of the season for Connor McDavid. Did not mean to click his name there. Oh, it's not rare, Gold. It's not rare. All the stats back up that it's not rare. But Bouchard giveth, Bouchard taketh. Bit of a giveaway there. The Oilers actually had, we had numbers here. Bouchard was just slow to, he just wasn't able to tie up Cowan, which is unfortunate on the Leafs goal. But it was the initial play by Tomaszek. He tried to cut in the middle. So Tomaszek here, I think it would have been better suited if he had tried to just bring it to the boards, put it in deep. He tried to cut it in the middle with a lot of coverage, and then the puck's floating 3 forwards deep. Evan Bouchard cannot go after this puck. I'm sorry. There's 3 forwards deep. This is a 50-50 puck that's in the air before it drops right here. Bouchard should recognize that the Leafs have numbers. He should not go and play that, and then the Leafs come up the ice with it. Leafs come up the ice. Not a problem, though. Because Bouchard did a great defensive play to get McDavid the puck. Good steal at the blue line. Because if Bouchard didn't get a stick here, number 89 for Toronto has a clean lane to the net. So this was a great defensive play from Bouchard. And then he gives it to McDavid, who goes in and scores. So like I said, Bouchard, 1 bad play, 1 good play, 50-50. We'll take that. I agree with you, Kira. I agree. 100% agree. Only penalty of the period, Max Domi, 2 minutes for high sticking. The Oilers could have made it a 2-0 game on the power play. Their power play did not convert, sadly. No killer instinct on the power play. Take a look at the time on ice. Draisaitl played 8:08. Would like to see him play a little bit less. McDavid, 7:41. David Tomaszek, only a minute 53. Yikes. Lazar, 2:45. Mangiapane, 3:13. And then in that period, Bouchard, 7:59. Regula, 7:17. Stastney only played 4:01. I'd like to see Stastney get more ice time. All right. I gave you a 5-minute timeout, Burger, because you keep saying things that are just unnecessary. I thought the 5 minutes was going to be good enough to kind of send the message like, hey, probably shouldn't be doing that. If I see more trolling about Tristan Jarry from you, you will be gone. Just letting you know. Stetcher saved a goal. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Jarry's rebound control looked a little shaky that period, in my opinion. Hey, what's going on, Vince? Oh, yeah, I should probably do some membership gifting, hey? Let's send 5 memberships out into the hockey world. I owe you all, so... If you get a membership, congrats. Looks like Sadistic got one. Mistaken Mexican, good to see you again. Congrats. Extra baggage. Mike and Mr. Bra. There you are. I did see that. I did see that the Penguins blew a 5-1 lead. The deserve to win-o-meter that first period, all situation goals, 1.16 for Edmonton, 0.88 for Toronto. You take a look at Tomaszek had a 100% expected goals for at 5-on-5. Not sure how they're calculating that because he was on the ice for the goal against that the Leafs scored, so I'm not really sure what the calculation is there, personally. I don't know what that is. Tristan Jarry sitting at a 90% save percentage. That's all we ask. In oil country, 900. That's all we ask. Brought to you by Ozempic. Yeah, I don't think San Jose will make the playoffs, but yeah, it would be pretty shocking if they did. Do I like the Habs? I don't dislike the Habs. No kitties. Actually, there is a mochi. Hold on. Hold on, folks. We do have a mochi. We do have a mochi sleeping. We have a mochi. Hi, mochi. Touched her butt. She doesn't like that. All right, I'm going to take a 5-minute break here. All right, I got to rest my voice. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, so. Exactly, yeah. Will Smith getting injured does not help at all. Yeah, that's Mochi. She's a sweetheart. Mochi better than Cher. I said it. I love that. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. That's so funny. I agree. Mochi is better than Cher. W. Thank you for that. All right, hit the like button. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, get some water, kind of just rest the voice a little bit, and then we'll come back for period 2. We'll see how the Oilers respond after getting up 1-0 and then giving up the tying goal. Tristan Jarry had to make a couple big saves. Hildeby also had to make a couple big saves. So we'll see if it's back and forth or if the Oilers are going to try and lock things down a little bit. I haven't liked Edmonton's defense in this game. I wonder what Jarry's Oilers helmet design will look like. I'm very excited to see it. Thank you for the $6.99 super chat. Thank you. Hey, I'm doing good, Saeed. How are you? And that's Mochi right now on the screen. I'll leave y'all with Chair and Mochi for a few minutes. We didn't look bad. It was a pretty 50-50 period, in my opinion. All right. I'll see you in a few. All right, I'm back. I'm back. How we doing? How the heck are we? Now, Matthews is definitely. Is it injuries? I think he's just been hampered by injuries, secret injuries. Don't even know what's been going on with him. Remember when he went overseas last year to deal with something? Like, I don't know. What's going on, Visual? How are you? I feel betrayed. Jarry looking like chair today. Yeah, he's definitely not the same player. His skating is not as strong as it was. Like Matthews was a pretty underrated skater in my opinion. When he got going, he could wheel, and then his deadly shot, which I don't think we've seen for a couple of years now. LA needs a retool or something before they piss me off. That's funny. Calvin Pickard played one game for the Leafs in 2017. I had no idea. Did he win the game? I'm assuming he didn't, if he only played one game. How's Tristan Jarry? Looking pretty good so far, Reese. Looking pretty good. I'd have to look it up. I mean, Calvin Pickard's been around a lot of different leagues, a lot of different teams. Quite the journeyman for his career. So the fact that he was able to stabilize in Edmonton is pretty cool, in my opinion. All right. Puck is dropped on the second period. Ekholm's going to throw it up the middle to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins sends it in behind the net. Here's Hyman with a shot. Tried to find a bad angle there, and that went over the net. Nyes battling for the puck along the half wall against Nugent Hopkins. McDavid steps in to try and come up with it. Comes to the blue line, and Bouchard, hard rim, sends it in. Domi takes a bump from Ekholm, and the Leafs are going to be able to get out of trouble here. Here comes Nyes. Nyes, one hand on his stick, gives it to Matthews. Puck behind the Oilers' goal. Nice play by Bouch. Good defense by Bouch. He took away the Nyes pass attempt, and here come the Oilers 2-on-2. Here's McDavid now with speed. Walks in, tries to get a shot off, and that's blocked by Stecher. Troy Stecher doing a good job tonight for Toronto. Doing a good job. What's going on? What am I missing? All right, that's a warning. That's a warning. Here's Draisaitl up the boards, just out of the reach of Podkolzin. Be nice in the chat, everyone. I don't want to have to time people out. Stop trolling. Be nice to people. Puck comes to Regula. Regula gives it to Draisaitl. Puck is in his feet. Podkolzin can't come up with it. The Oilers look a little sloppy right now. And here's Podkolzin trying to grab it. Ties up his man and Nurse up the middle to Draisaitl. Draisaitl walks into the Leaf zone to Podkolzin. He'll play it to the blue line. Regula to Podkolzin. Podkolzin back to Regula. Here's Regula now. Draisaitl walks around here into the middle to Savoy. Savoy to Draisaitl. And Draisaitl does a good job. He spins away from a check, trying to bring it out in front. Nice defense by Toronto. Regula cycles it back behind the net, hits the official, and it's taken by Podkolzin. Podkolzin's hooked up. No call there. He goes down, and the Oilers will make a change. Here's a play up the boards, deflected in deep by the Leafs. Here's Ty Emberson. Hangs on the puck behind the Oilers' net, and he finds Trent Frederick now. Frederick sporting all those stitches on his cheek when he took a puck up high in practice the other day. Trent Frederick cycles it around. Janmark keeps the play alive. Frederick behind the Leafs net. Henrique to Frederick. Frederick looks for an outlet, or a pass, sorry, and the Leafs are going to come up with it. Ekman-Larsson for Toronto. Up the boards, puck tipped by Emberson. Henrik does a good job on the back check. He'll give it to Stastney. Stastney across to Emberson. Puck is going to be brought in by Janmark. Janmark towards that, deflected by Henrik. Nice deflection by Henrik. Good save by Hildeby. And here comes Nick Roy. Roy to Robertson. Behind the net to Roy. Nice job by Bouchard. That's two good defensive plays here by Bouchard, and he gets the puck up to Frederick. Frederick had Lazar streaking the middle, but opted to send it in deep and go for a change. So Evan Bouchard has made a couple really good defensive plays already this period. Here's Lorentz now. He'll get the puck behind Ekholm. Lorentz on his forehand, back to the blue line. Puck towards the net, and that goes off of Jarry's pad and into the corner. Here's Ekholm. He's knocked down by Cowan. Bouchard spins away from Cowan, and he'll look to reset the breakout. Here's Bouchard. Up the right boards. Goes off of a body. It's not going to be icing. Nice job by Lazar. Beats the icing out. Puck comes to Mangiapane. Mangiapane trying to send it back in, but not deep. And here comes Troy Stecher with speed. He'll skate it through the middle of the ice. Stecher drops it back. Here's a shot towards the goal. Easy save for Tristan Jarry. Andrew Mangiapane now. He'll spin it back. Darnell Nurse will wait for a change. 15:52 to play in the second. Hyman plays it back. Oilers just, they're just playing it back in their own zone, trying to get this breakout going. Here's Darnell Nurse for the Oilers. Nurse, he'll send the puck in deep behind the Leafs net. Hildeby leaves it for McCabe. McCabe to Austin Matthews. Matthews up the middle. Nice job by Nurse to cut off that pass, and Jarry's just going to hang on to that, which is fine. There's you can share your opinion, but when you keep hammering the same point over and then using different wording and then calling him poop, we understand. I gave you a warning. Respect it, please and thank you. Here's a puck kept alive by the Leafs. Regula can't come up with it. Here's Matthews now in front. Here's a shot. Rebound. Ekman-Larsson. He scores. And the Oilers are they're running around, and Toronto makes it a 2-1 game. Ekman-Larsson scores, makes it a 2-1 game for the Leafs. Oilers were running all over the place here. Nurse and Regula could not come up with it. Matthews into the middle. McDavid lost it. Regula couldn't get it away from Nyes. Matthews centers it out in front. First save by Jarry, and then it comes across, and probably want to save there, but that's all right. Two-1 Leafs, 15:06 to play here in the second period. Not too worried yet. Toronto looking to get back in on the attack here. The Oilers, Nurse is just constantly spinning in circles and puck watching. Darnell Nurse is... that was a bad shift for that defense pair, him and Regula. Puck comes around the boards. Here's Bouchard to Ekholm. Oilers looking to get a good response shift here. Savoy plays it behind the Leafs net to Podkolzin. Podkolzin loses it to McCabe, and we have a penalty coming up to the Leafs here, I think. Hey, what's going on, Chaotic? Good to see you again. Wallman, come back, please. So that's a power play for Edmonton. If the Oilers can capitalize on the power play here, try and get this game tied back up. So Tavares with a hooking penalty. All right. Let's see if the Oilers can respond after giving up the go-ahead goal here early. Here's Bouchard to Nugent-Hopkins. Across, one-timer by Draisaitl. That goes high and wide. Here's Nugent-Hopkins now to Draisaitl. Walks in, trying to put it in front. Here's Hyman. It's in his feet. Trying to come up with it. Can't get a shot off, and here's McDavid will play it back to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard for Edmonton to Draisaitl. Draisaitl waits towards the goal. That goes off of McCabe, and McDavid along the wall gives it to Bouchard at the point. Back to McDavid, left circle. Nugent-Hopkins to McDavid. Here's McDavid, walks in, tries to go short side, rebound. Draisaitl with a rebound attempt, and that was stopped by Hildeby. I don't know what happened there. Desperation save, and the Oilers keep it alive. Here's McDavid now. McDavid across to Draisaitl, and that's stopped by Hildeby again. Here's McDavid with 1:10 left on the power play. Gives it to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard to Draisaitl. Draisaitl back to Bouchard. Oilers doing a good job getting some pucks on net here. McDavid walks in across, tries to find Leon again for the one-timer, but good stick by McCabe. Here's Draisaitl now at the point. Oilers moving the puck around here. Cycling it. Rotating. Draisaitl, bottom of the right circle. Centers it to Nugent-Hopkins, and that goes off of Hildeby's pad, and Draisaitl will steal it. Puck to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard for the Oilers. Left circle to McDavid. McDavid behind the Leafs net. Walks around with speed. Here's Bouchard with a one-timer and a save by Hildeby. What a great save by Hildeby. That was not a goal for Edmonton. You saw the graphic on the screen. That was not a goal. I meant to put an extra shot on. Jeez. Draisaitl, what is that shot? That was horrible. Bouchard with the Bouch bomb. Nice save by Hildeby. Gets a blocker on it, and then the puck drops in front of him. No big rebound. Draisaitl wins the faceoff. 30 seconds left in the power play for Edmonton. Nugent-Hopkins now trying to feed it down low to McDavid. McDavid for the Oilers, and he loses it, and Toronto will send it all the way down. Top unit for Edmonton. Looks like are they going to stay on? Go for a change? Not sure. No, they're going to stay on the whole 2 minutes. Draisaitl with speed now. Walks in. Shot off of the rush, and that was kicked away by Hildeby. It was a weak shot. And then the puck is sent down the ice by Toronto, and they are 2 for 2 on the kill. Oilers are 0 for 2 on the power play. Here's Ekholm now. Up the ice. Janmark walks in, shoots, saved by Hildeby once again. Shot by Nurse towards the net. Here's Henrique. Puck's bouncing around. Janmark can't come up with it. Here's Austin Matthews now. He'll try and get it to Domi. Domi into the middle, and here's Nyes. Matthew Nyes will try and skate by Stastney. Oh, and Stastney's taken down hard by Nyes. Nyes centers it out in front. Nobody home for the Leafs. And Edmonton will send it down the ice. Here's Adam Henrique. He'll chase after the Leafs defense. Ekman Larson now to Domi. Stolen by Frederick. Here's Janmark. Can't get it back to Frederick. And Max Domi will send it into the Oilers zone. Stastney now along the boards in his own end. Janmark behind his net. Emerson, he'll poke it forward to Henrique, and then Henrique trying to deflect it out. He does get it out, and we have a offside here. Not sure what's going on. Hand pass. I'm not sure what happened there, but we do have a whistle and a commercial break. I will reserve judgment on Tristan Jarry until we have a large sample size. It's going to take him a while to feel confident with his team and kind of find his game, get used to how the team plays in front of him. Is that the best case scenario for the bottom six, is not getting scored on? At this point, yeah, that's kind of just what we hope for. We just hope that the bottom six doesn't get scored on. I agree. D has to tighten up. Lots of puck watching tonight. Lots of odd man rushes for Toronto. How much calling up does Hudson help? I think Hudson would be I think he would be an effective middle six forward that could contribute on offense, but we know Chris Knobloch would likely not really play him. So that's true. That's true, Melanik. I agree. Get Janmark off this team. Janmark Hattie, come on. We got to will that into existence. Janmark Hattie. I think they want to give Regula an extended runway here in Edmonton because Regula has a lot of upside. Still think Dry puts up a moment? I hope so. Yeah, there's lots of hockey here. I am not even remotely concerned right now. Matthews slated for the U.S. squad. He should be. That would be shocking if he didn't play for Team USA. Only an injury would prevent him from being able to play for Team USA. There's going to be a face-off in the neutral zone. Oilers blue line, won by Lazar. Lazar will give that puck to Stastney, and Stastney will play it up. Mangiapane can't get it past Tavares, and McMahon takes it. Puck played up to Tavares, and the Leafs are going to reset here. Lazar, he's going to step in. Tavares, for a moment, bobbled the puck, and Lazar almost took that from him. But Toronto will move it up. Here's Benoit. Loses it to Emberson. Puck is going to be played up the right boards to nobody, and a couple Oilers look like they're going for a change now. Here's Ty Emberson for the Oilers. Across. He'll give it to Stastney. Stastney for Edmonton. He'll play it to Mangiapane, who's had some jump tonight. Mangiapane to Draisaitl. He'll try and toe drag and shoot, and that's blocked by Benoit. And Tavares will skate through the neutral zone now. Here's Tavares to Nylander. Nylander across the ice. Good stick by Regula. Might have deflected that away from Robertson. Robertson to the blue line. Puck sent towards the Oilers net, and that's stopped easily by Jarry. Darnell Nurse behind his net. Getting pressured by Robertson. And here's Nurse now. Up the left board, Savoy spins away from trouble. As Edmonton looks to reset, Toronto doing a good job, not giving Edmonton many options for outlet passes. Puck sent up by Podkolzin. Savoy chases it behind the Leafs net. Hildeby up around, stolen by Draisaitl. Savoy alone behind the Leafs net. He'll center it to Podkolzin. Can't get a good shot off. Good block by Yarncroc. Puck is going to be kept alive. Here's Draisaitl. Centers it across to Regula, and he loses possession. And here's Robertson. Robertson spins away from a check. Into the middle. Here's Stetcher. Centers it out in front. Nobody home. Oilers trying to desperately get this puck out. Zach Hyman can't come up with it. Nick Waugh, he'll send it in, and Alec Regula looks up, head up, trying to find a play. He'll skate it to center, and he'll just backhand it in. Stetcher deflected with a high stick, so you're going to have a whistle and another commercial break here. Skinner being traded was a surprise. I thought Pickard was going to be moved first, personally. I think Jarry and Skinner as a 1A, 1B tandem would have been better. If they upgrade on Pickard in the next few weeks, I will be okay with this. If they just keep Pickard the rest of the season, I think that would be a mistake. Well, you just put him on waivers, right? That's what you do. You try and acquire someone else, and then you would just put Pickard on waivers. Nurse and Regula make my blood pressure skyrocket. They're chaotic tonight. They're a little bit chaotic. Yeah, they did, Don. They did. They kind of have Jarry's number this season. I can breathe in 4K. What? No, we need Savoy on the ice. No press box for you. I didn't hear. You have the script? You have the script? Well, we need to go the other way to replace picks. Pickard makes league minimum. Like, if you can get a 7th round pick for him, fantastic. But I think Pickard is just someone that not much value, in my opinion. Sherwood would be a dog in that bottom 6. An absolute dog. That's true, Mr. Doom. All right, back from commercial break here. Just waiting for the face-off. They're showing some clips and highlights of Hildeby making some big saves tonight for the Leafs. Hildeby's played a really good game for Toronto. Not going to lie. Off the face-off, Hyman can't come up with it. It's going to be flipped to the neutral zone. Picked up by Bouchard. Nice play by Bouch. Gives it to McDavid. McDavid walks in. Behind the net. Centers it out in front. They score! Was that Connor McDavid's goal? It's a 2-2 game. Did that go? Who did that go off of? Was that an own goal? I think McDavid. That's McDavid's goal. I thought Nugent Hopkins might have put it in. But that might have been an own goal. I don't know what happened here. McDavid centered it to Nuge, and let's see what happened. McDavid walks in with speed, centers it out in front, and what a goal by Stecher! Troy Stecher helping his old team out. What a one-timer into the net. Let's go, Troy Stecher. Thank you. Yes. Troy Stecher with the goal of the season. That was awesome. Oh, Jesus. Whoa, that reminds me of the Line A own goal when Edmonton played Winnipeg way back in the day. That is hysterical. Troy Stetcher's just he's just doing the team a favor, right? He still loves the boys in Edmonton. He's doing them a favor here. Here's Toronto now behind the Oilers net trying to center it, and Jarry, he's just going to hang on to that with 9:10 to play. What the heck was that all about? What a goal. Double agent. It looked so intentional. He literally looked like he wanted to put that in. That's so funny. What the hell? Oh, Stecher, my man. Yikers. Listen, if Bouchard's going to get shit on by Leafs media, I expect Troy Stecher to be in the highlight packages for the next week in Toronto. That's so funny, man. Here's Trent Frederick now on the forecheck. He plays it back to Emerson with a shot towards the net, and Hildeby swallows it up. No rebound there. Oh, I'm excited to see Steve Dangle's reaction, man. I want to know what Steve's reaction is. It's so funny, dude. Even Bouchard has never put the puck in his own net with that much authority before. That was like authoritative by Stecher. No hesitation there. Saw the open net and decided, I'm putting that in there. Oh, jeez. That's so funny, man. We got 5. Was that 5? 5 gifted? Is that what I saw? $5 super chat from Everett. Stetch the stretch double agent. Yep, pretty much. That's so funny, man. All right, we've had our laugh. We got to focus on the game. Stecher feels bad. Sometimes that happens. Listen, I played hockey. I had a fair share of own goals a couple times when I used to play defense. It happens. It's obviously not intentional. It sucks when it happens, but Stecher is probably, Stecher is, he'll rebound from that. Here come the Leafs now. Easton Cowan holds it at the blue line, looks for a lane. Cowan down to Benoit. Or Thrun towards the net. Here's a backhand on the goal, and Tristan Jarry, he puts his pad along the post, does not allow that puck to sneak through. Puck flipped into the neutral zone. Oh, what a play by Adam Henrique. He did a little bobble with it, but he'll go for a change. Eight minutes to go in the second. Here's Jarry with a high pass to the neutral zone to Mangiapane. That's something to look for with Tristan Jarry. He will play the puck. He will try and stretch the ice a little bit when he gets it. So that was quite the pass from Jarry. Puck gloved forward by the Leafs. It'll come to the blue line, kept in by Regula. Curtis Lazar chases after it. And here's Nick Roy. He'll throw it through the middle. Robertson can't come up with it against Regula, but nice job by Jarn Krok on the forecheck. Gets the puck past Nurse. Nurse and Regula battling for it. Robertson for the Leafs and Jarn Krok. Nick Roy also looking for that puck to come loose. Puck comes loose by Regula. Leafs come up with possession. Nice job by Lazar supporting down low as the extra player there. But the Leafs maintain. Puck around to Roy. Roy trying to get it to Robertson. Here's Nurse. He'll play it to the left wing. Mangiapane now. He tried to find Tomaszek, and Oilers did not get that puck deep. Now here's Mangiapane. He's going to walk in. Mangiapane behind the Leafs net. Looking to center it. He'll play it to the blue line. Oilers trying to get a change here. Here's Ekholm. He'll find Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl now. Across. Pass to Savoy and deflected in front. I don't know if Savoy got Hildeby got a piece of that. Tavares now. He'll get by Savoy. Behind the Oilers net. Ekholm will pick it up. Here's Matthias Ekholm for Edmonton. Off the boards, finds Draisaitl. Draisaitl into the middle, just out of the reach of Podkolzin. And Draisaitl hasn't had a good game to me. He's really off with his passes right now. His timing, passes, and shots, but he makes a great pass to Savoy, and that puck's bobbling all over the place on Savoy. He can't come up with full possession. Oh, and Podkolzin knocked a Leaf over, and Podkolzin's going to go to the box here. That was clearly interference or hooking or whatever you want to call it. And Toronto is going to get the power play. Podkolzin, undisciplined in the neutral zone. And Toronto's going to get their first power play of the evening. I appreciate that, Rick. That's so funny. During the playoffs, Troubled Monk sponsored me. They sent me some free product that I was allowed to talk about on stream and support. I'm not sponsored by them anymore. I'm just too lazy to take the graphic down. I don't have anything to add there. But Podkolzin, 2 minutes for something. He definitely knocked someone over. It was definitely a penalty. That's true. I saw a lot of fans being like, yeah, the power play's not good because Marner's gone. Well, the power play wasn't that great last year either. I remember Leafs fans talking about it last year struggling, so which is very strange with the amount of talent. Is it guys don't want to shoot or guys don't want to pass as much? Like what do you think is the issue? Do you think it should be Matthews or Nylander kind of running it? No, that was a penalty. That was a penalty, never lucky, I promise. I saw it right away. I haven't minded Trent Frederick's game tonight. I agree with you, Gong Show. Draisaitl's passing has not been very good. I don't blame Marner or his family for being happy to move away from Toronto. No offense to Toronto. It's a beautiful city and amazing people. But something had to change, in my opinion. And I think Marner he took a lot of the brunt there. And I think just for him, mentally, emotionally, probably good that he ended up leaving. I love the city of Toronto. I think it's a beautiful city. I've only been there a few times, but I absolutely love it. Poor Stetcher. All right, penalty kill for the Oilers. Power play for the Leafs. Off the face-off. Toronto's going to come up with it. Here's a one-timer by Matthews, and that goes wide off the face-off. Tavares will give it to Matthews. Matthews is going to get pressured, but he maintains possession. Behind the net to Tavares. Tavares to Matthews, to Riley. That'll become a cross to Nylander. Nylander's pressured by Lazar. Lazar trying to come up with it. He can't. Riley to Matthews. Right circle, into the middle. Tavares with a shot, and that goes high and over the goal. And then the Oilers are going to send that all the way down the ice. Good clear by Edmonton. Morgan Riley, he'll reset behind his net. Here's Riley now. He'll drop it for Matthews. Matthews into the middle. Nylander across the ice. Puck goes off of his skate, and that'll be sent down the ice once again by the Oilers killers with about 1:04 to go here on the power play. Here's Riley to Matthews. Matthews trying to bring it in. Does. Gets it to Nyes. Nyes hard around to Tavares, and the Leafs are going to try and get set up here once again. Here's Matthews to the blue line to Riley. Riley with a shot. Puck deflected in front. Loose in the crease. And they can't put it in. Good save by Jarry. And well, the Oilers shot that out of play, it looked like. So, wow. Good save by Jarry, and then, yeah, the Oilers were able to come up with possession. Good deflection, good save by Jarry. Good tie-up by Regula. Didn't allow Knies to get a good chance on the rebound. That's good defense. That's committed defense by the Oilers there. Good to see. All right, 43 seconds left on the power play. Domi on the draw. Toronto does come up with it. Puck is kind of bobbling. It's along the half wall, and Domi sends it to the blue line. Here's Ekman-Larsson to Domi. Domi to Ekman-Larsson with a shot. That blocked. Comes back to Ekman-Larsson with another shot. Deflects wide off of a body. Oilers doing a good job getting in lanes and blocking these shots. Here's Ekman-Larsson to Domi. Domi left circle. Domi with a shot. Tries to go short side. Saved by Jarry. And the rebound in front. Can't get reached by the Leafs. And here's Cowan. Cowan now to Ekman-Larsson with another shot. And that was stopped by Jarry. Here's Domi now to the blue line. Ekman-Larsson with another shot. Puck is loose. Oh, great job by Ekholm to clear it. Jarry didn't know where it went. And here's Domi now. Play it across, and the Leafs are making a change. Here's Podkolzin trying to come up with it, and that deflects out of play with 3:49 to go. Whoa, good saves by Jarry there. Good looks from Toronto. They had a bit of a shooter's mentality on that one. The second unit, that is. I'm sure Hildeby forgives Stetcher. And the team will forgive Stetcher if Toronto ends up winning this game. Jarry's going to the bench for, I don't know if he's going for repairs on something. Not sure what happened. He's talking with the trainer. Let's see. What's Jarry doing? Is he hurt? Is he okay? Could you imagine if he's hurt already? If Jarry's hurt already, that's going to suck. Here's Jarry. He's having a conversation here with the trainer. I don't know what's going on. Knobloch looking calm as a cucumber. Oh, the puck came up, hit Jarry up high in the collarbone area. That might have stung him a little bit. I think he's okay. I think he just needed a moment, get a breather. Okay. I like the pad setup personally. All right, off the face-off at the Oilers blue line, won by the Leafs. Puck is going to be sent in. Here's Emberson now to McDavid. McDavid across to Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl now gives it to McDavid. McDavid down low to Zach Hyman. Hyman gets the cycle going. You have Draisaitl and McDavid loaded up here after the power play for Toronto. They'll do that, so don't read too much into it. Shot towards net, deflected by Hyman, and a good save by Hildeby. Stetcher takes it away, kept alive. Oh, no. And here's Stastney, gives it away, but he does have Emberson back. Here's Knies with a shot and a good save by Jarry. Nice job. Matthew Knies is a beast, man. What an absolute animal. Look at Knies go. He's stick handling through. McDavid takes it for a moment. Comes to Emberson. Here's Stastney. Stastney's just got to calm it down. He'll give it to Emberson up the boards. Here's Draisaitl. Pass into the feet. Does not find McDavid, and Robertson up the middle. And here come the Leafs. Nice D by the Darnell Nurse there. And here's Matthias Janmark to Adam Henrique. Henrique to Janmark, left wing. Janmark spins away from a check to the blue line. Nurse, fake shot. Walks in across the ice trying to find Frederick for the one-timer. That would have been beautiful if that had gotten there. Here's Regula now. He'll hang on to it. Regula up the middle to Janmark. Janmark to Henrique. Henrique will send it in deep. Trent Frederick on his backhand. Gives it to Janmark. Back to the blue line. Here's Regula to Nurse. Nurse down low. Adam Henrique is being tied up by Trunin there, so he couldn't go and grab it. And here's Nylander. Puck out of his reach, and someone's stick exploded. I don't know if that was Ekholm's stick or what, but 1:59 to go here in the second. Oh, is it? Leafs? I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that from 2018. I'll have to look up the replay. Hey, what's going on, Bubsy? Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Face off at the Leafs blue line. Won by Toronto. Morgan Riley resets behind his net, around up the right wing to Tavares. He'll send it across the ice out of the reach of Nylander. Riley, though, he'll play it back up through the neutral zone. Nylander finds Tavares. Tavares stops up, looking for an open lane. He bobbles it, and here's Ekholm through the middle. He would have had a potential break for Savoy, and that was a good interception by Toronto. I don't know if that was Riley that intercepted that, but either way, good defense by the Leafs. And here's Bouchard now into the middle for Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins will drop it for Mangiapane. Mangiapane towards the goal. That goes off the outside of the net. Mangiapane now, who's been he's been very noticeable. I've liked Mangiapane so far in this game. Here's Nurse. He'll do a weird reverse play. Regula spins away from a check, finds Nurse. Oilers looking to get an outlet here. Puck up the middle. Here's Mangiapane now. Mangiapane on his forehand. Backhand, forehand, loses it. McDavid chases, can't grab it. Here come the Leafs now. 45 seconds to go. Here's Regula. He'll hit Roy. Puck behind the net, centered it out in front. Here comes McDavid with speed. Draisaitl drops it to him. Connor McDavid, 2 goals on the night. McDavid spins from trouble. Here's Leon to Nurse with a shot. He scores! Darnell Nurse gives the Oilers the lead, and look at Nurse. Look at the emphatic celebration for Nurse. Let's effing go. Come on, man. Let's go, Nursey. Wow. Good defense by Regula. Nice job by McDavid using his speed once again. He brings it around Ekman-Larsson, gives it to Draisaitl, and then he sends it across to Nurse, and that goes through the glove, in between the glove and pad of Hildeby, as the Oilers with a late lead here in the second period. Darnell Nurse, and look at Darnell Nurse's celebration, dude. Look how intense he is. He is feeling it, dude. Wow. Okay, here's Podkolzin now. Oilers got to make sure that you just play the last 30 seconds here smart. You don't got to do too much. Take the lead into the third period. Here's a play into the middle. Domi to Nyes with a shot, and that's a high and out of play with 12 seconds to go. Nurse is a natural winger. Maybe when Wallman comes back, you just put Nurse as a winger, and then Wallman can take the second pair left position. And Connor McDavid's feeling it too, man. That's 3 points for McDavid. He has 2 goals and an assist. He has been red hot. Draisaitl gets a point, so he's 3 away from 1,000 in his career now. Here's a shot towards the goal, deflected wide. It'll come to Matthews now. One-timer by Nylander, easy save. Oh, and Jarry, he played that, but the ref literally immediately blew it dead. All right, look at Jarry. He's smiling. He's like, I was playing it quick. The ref's like, what do you want me to do? I got to blow the whistle and protect you. Was Nurse's contract seen as bad when he signed it? Yes. It was horrible when he signed it. Mostly because he shot like 20% in the Canadian division. We knew it was unsustainable, is essentially what was going on there. The production, that is. All right. End of 2, the Oilers have a 3-2 lead. Toronto took the lead, and then Edmonton answered back with 2 goals. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Spencer? How are you? Crazy game so far. Crazy game. Entertaining game, I will say. Where's my Hattie? You'll get one day, Savoy. You'll get one day. Hit the like button, folks. We're going to go over the... Austin stripped on his mustache. We're going to go over the edge visualizer for the 3 goals in the second period. And then we'll take a look at some of the advanced stats on Money Puck. And then I'm going to take a little break and keep resting my voice. I think he just needed a minute to... he took a puck up near the clavicle. So I think he just needed a minute to kind of reset. He had a conversation with the trainer. So he must have felt some kind of discomfort there. Was that last night's Mammoth game? that sounded like a good game. Was it 5-3 win for Utah last night? Have a lot of Oilers stuff. Love to hear that, Liam. I also have many, many Oilers things. I do need a new victory chain, though, because that Oilers logo behind me, that was on my victory chain and it fell off. So I'm going to have to get a new victory chain at some point. I'll probably get a new one if I go to a game in Edmonton this year, which I'm probably going to go to one at some point. Don't know when. Oh, Big Jam. Jesus. I have the goatee. I can't do just a straight on mustache. All right, folks, let's go over the Edge visualizer here. I got to get my OBS open. Huzzah! Here we go. Ekman-Larsson gave the Leafs a 2-1 lead early in that second period. Nurse and Regula were flying all over the place. Matthews had the shot, or Domi had the shot. It came to Nyes, and then Nyes centered it out in front to Ekman-Larsson. We'll watch this again. You think he's more mad at the Nurse goal or more mad at the Stetcher own goal? Nice shot by Domi. And yeah, the Oilers were just kind of... The Oilers they didn't look good on that goal defensively. Probably wanted a save from Jarry, but Jarry made some big saves on the penalty kill. 5 minutes later, McDavid tied the game up on an own goal. Puck came into the middle. Nice job. Look at that defensive play by Bouchard there. Bouchard, he made one mistake, but he's made about 10 really good defensive plays and 2 plays that have directly led to goals for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll watch that again. You won't get to see the actual shot from Stetcher, but here's McDavid. He walks in, and he centers it out in front, and here's Stetcher. McDavid's trying to find Nugent Hopkins. Puck comes to Stetcher. You can see it right there, and then Stetcher just one-times it into the net. Hey, what's going on, Naheed? Good to see you. And then Darnell Nurse at the end of the period, 30 seconds left. Golden Steed is at the game tonight. What a good one to go to. Absolutely. That's awesome. Draisaitl across the ice. And yeah, Hildeby was just a little late reacting to it. I don't think he thought that pass was going to go across there. Nice job by McDavid. Tons of speed. Draisaitl gave him a one-touch. McDavid has been all over the place tonight. Draisaitl walks in. If you're Hildeby, you have to respect either this shot or the shot pass to Hyman. But this puck came across to Nurse. There was no coverage on Darnell Nurse, and he one-times it past Hildeby. Penalties in that period. John Tavares, 2 minutes for hooking, and then Podkolzin, 2 minutes for interference on Jake McCabe. How many games until Jarry is comfortable with his team? Probably, I'm going to say about 10. 10 games, I would say, is like minimum. I'm not going to judge Jarry very harshly until he gets about 10 full starts with the team. But Jarry's been good. He's made some big saves tonight. Love to see it. McDavid at 3 points. Draisaitl has 1, so Draisaitl is 3 points away from 1,000 in his career. Would need a big third period to hit it tonight. Time on ice, Draisaitl leads all players with 16:05. Already love our chances with Jarry, trust me. Pods is part, yeah, exactly. He drew the first penalty, he drew the second one, and then he took the third one, so that's actually really funny. Tomaszek's only played 4:10. Lazar's 7:07, so it looks like Tomaszek, the coaching staff doesn't like playing him very much. And if we take a look at the time on ice for defense, Bouchard leads the way with an assist. He's a +2. Darnell Nurse with a goal and a point. I appreciate that, Naheed. We'll give him a break. He's playing unreal. I agree. I agree with you. He had a beauty in 2020, and was it 2018? I think he had a really good one when he kind of split the defense, and then he went by Morgan Rielly, and then he went forehand, backhand. I might have been thinking of the same. Maybe it's the same one we're thinking of. Jarry with a .909 save percentage. We'll take a look at the advanced stats. Let's see what Money Puck has to say. Leafs apparently dominating in terms of the deserved to win-o-meter. Probably because of the chances on the power play, I would think. This was all on the power play. All these shots. And yeah, Toronto, it was a shooting gallery on the power play there. Team Canada's roster going to be revealed December 31st. Okay, I'll keep an eye out on that. Yes, I will do the out-of-town scoreboard as well. Stetcher has the highest expected goals for percentage of all players at 5-on-5, despite the beautiful own goal that he scored. Take a look at Jarry's stats. He has 0.86 goals saved above expected and a 909 save percentage. All we ask is for a 900, and that's what he's given us. That's what he's given the team tonight. He did score. Out of town scoreboard, Montreal, New York tied at 4. That's actually wild. It was 3-0 Montreal last I had checked. 3-1, 3-2 on the penalty shot for Panarin. 4-2, 4-3, 4-4. Oh my goodness, Montreal. Who's in net for Montreal? Did they put that kid in again tonight? Yeah, Fowler. He had a good first game for Montreal, having a tough second game. That's a tough one. Hurricanes Flyers tied at 2. Goals from Nikishin, Ehlers, Zegras, and Brink. Golden Knights Jackets 1-1. Jets beating the Capitals 3-0. Hellebuck is back for Winnipeg tonight, by the way. Detroit's up 2-0 on Chicago. 0-0 in the Florida game. And then the games that have been completed, you had the Islanders defeat the Lightning in a shootout. You had the Wild beat the Senators in regulation. Sharks with an all-time comeback against Pittsburgh. Take a look at this, folks. Look at the third period. 5-1 Pittsburgh with 14:35 to play. Klingberg scores. Eklund scores. Celebrini scores. Toffoli scores. 4 unanswered to tie this up, and then Klingberg in overtime. That is just crazy, man. That's got to be one of the biggest comebacks in the third period ever. Like, straight up. No cap. No, Skinner didn't play. Skinner hasn't even joined the team yet, actually. Yeah, John Klingberg. Ignore the Ducks game. I did. Don't worry. I didn't even mention it. All right, folks. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I got to keep resting my voice here, or I'm going to lose it by the end of the third. Friedman, my goat. He was. Klingberg did better than I thought he would do, honestly. Especially coming off the injury that he had. So, all right, folks, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Enjoy chair. Y'all can enjoy chair. Hit the like button, by the way. Hit that like button. I don't know how many likes the live stream is at right now, but make sure you hit that like button. Goes a long way. Enjoy the chair for 5-6 minutes. All right, we're back. Ooh. How we doing? How we feeling heading to the third period here? Feeling good? Neutral? Not good? The what? Who am I shouting out? How do I even pronounce that? Let's go, Archangel. I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. Oh, yeah. I owe 5 memberships, by the way. Here's another 5. Boom! I forgot to do that before I took my 5-minute break. Here you go, folks. If you got to give it a membership, congrats. We got Stealth getting one, Doug Walker. We got Lost Phoenix, Duolingo, and Cowboy Wayne. Congrats on getting a membership tonight. The orange third jersey? See, I wasn't a big fan of that one. I liked their orange jersey that they wore in like 2016. 15, 16, and 16, 17. I liked that orange. The darker orange with the dark blue shoulders. I wasn't a big fan of that. And then their really dark navy jerseys, I despised those, dude. They look like glow in the dark Halloween themed jerseys. I hated those ones. Oh, gotcha. No, I understand what you're saying now, Leafs fan. No, I'm with you. Those were nice. Those were nice. Oh, I love that reverse retro, man. Love that reverse retro. That's definitely one of the best jerseys they've ever released. But I love their new cream alternates. I've been a big fan of those since they revealed them. I love the alternates this season. The Heritage Classic jerseys were interesting. I didn't like them at first. I remember really disliking them at first, but I did grow to eventually like them. Yeah, the Oilers apparently, according to Sport Logic, 21 high danger chances tonight. So I don't know what Money Puck's doing when it comes to the expected goals. Oh, I love the new ones, man. They're my favorite. Absolutely love them. But the third period is starting up here. Oilers with a 1-goal lead. Oilers going with going with McDavid, Nuge, and Hyman. Off the face-off, puck is being bobbled around the neutral zone. Nugent Hopkins plays it to Bouchard. Bouchard, who I think has had a fantastic game for Edmonton tonight, plays it up to Zach Hyman. Hyman spins away from a check from Matthews. Hyman to Bouchard across to Ekholm. Ekholm towards the net. That's going to bounce in front. Here's McDavid. This comes around, centers it. Oh, and I thought he was going to shoot, but he chose to do a weird little floater pass. That was interesting. Not sure I agree with that one. McDavid is going to send it hard and around deep in the Leaf zone. Kept alive by Nugent Hopkins. Here's Zach Hyman now. He'll play it hard off the boards, gets it to McDavid. McDavid will walk into the middle, drops it for Bouchard. He'll walk the line, looks for a play, finds Nugent Hopkins towards the goal, and Hildeby didn't see it, and that went just wide of the net. Puck is going to be played. That went off the glove of an Oiler to the blue line, but they didn't call the hand pass, and here's McDavid trying to center it. Matthews steals it. Here's Podkolzin, though. He sends it hard and around, and Regula keeps it alive. Regula, right circle, walking in, shoots it, and here's Hildeby with a save. All right, so Alec Regula gets his shot on net, and now every single Oiler player has at least one shot tonight, apparently, according to the broadcast. Offensive zone faceoff, second line out there for Edmonton after a good first shift for the top line. Off the face-off, puck comes to Regula. Regula to Draisaitl. Draisaitl hangs onto it towards the goal. Deflected. Podkolzin scores! Vasily Podkolzin makes it a 4-2 lead for Edmonton. There, look at Draisaitl. He's smiling and laughing. Draisaitl's now 2 points away from 1,000 in his career. Podkolzin gets the deflection in front of Hildeby, and that makes it a 4-2 Oilers lead. Regula to Draisaitl. Draisaitl stepped away from the check. He throws it towards the net, and a nice tip by Podkolzin. Great job by Pods. Gives Edmonton a multi-goal lead. Ekman-Larsson loses the tie-up battle in front. Let's go. Let's go, Podkolzin. Nice goal from Pods. Draisaitl, he gets a point. Second of the game for him. And Draisaitl's now 2 points away from 1,000. And I believe Alec Regula finally got his first NHL point. Alec Regula got his first NHL point on that goal. So good for Alec Regula. Love that. Love that for Regula. Congrats, of course. Very happy. You knew it was coming for Regula. Oh, and then he misplays it, and Jarry has to hang on to it. Regula getting a little excited there. Got to just take a breath. Nice job by Pods. What a great deflection, man. Fantastic. 18:31 to play here. Second line's going to remain out for Edmonton. Never mind. Podkolzin's going to go to the bench. Draisaitl will take the face-off. They have Henrique out there. Regula to Savoy. Savoy up the wing, and Henrique can't get the puck in deep. Stolen by Tavares. And here comes Ekman-Larsson. Ekman-Larsson now. Oh, stolen. What a play by Savoy in the neutral zone. Savoy gives it to Draisaitl. Draisaitl walks into the Leaf zone. Draisaitl backhand. Podkolzin. He scores! Vasily Podkolzin has 2 goals. Another point for Draisaitl. And he's 1 away from 1,000 in his career. And the Oilers make it a 5-2 game. Wow, Vasily Podkolzin, 2 goals in 30 seconds. And what a play. What a play by Savoy in the neutral zone to knock that pass down. Savoy gives it to Draisaitl. Draisaitl walks in, backhand, and Podkolzin deflects it in. 5-2 Edmonton. Where did this come from? Wow, Podkolzin is on hat-trick watch right now. And Draisaitl is 1 point away from 1,000 in his career. Holy smoke, I'm wearing the Draisaitl jersey. Come on, I want to see it tonight so bad. But let's not get greedy. There's still 18 minutes to play. Here's Emberson now for the Oilers. He'll send it across. Stastney up the left boards. That's going to be flipped in by Janmark. Off the boards now. Janmark fights for it behind the Leafs net. Is that... Who is in there for the Leafs? It's Lawton. He'll play it up to Cowan. Into the middle. Stolen by Henrique, and he doesn't get it in deep in the Leaf zone. Oilers will go for a change here, it looks like. Here comes a high shot from center. Oh, and then it comes out in front, and a shot goes wide of the net by the Leafs. That was an interesting play there. And here's David Tomaszek. He'll flip it to the corner. Oh, too many men for Toronto. They're not going to call it, though. Oilers thought there was too many. Bouchard, head up. Tomaszek loses it. And here come the Leafs. Here's Robertson now with speed. Walks in the middle with a shot, and that goes wide of the Oilers' goal. Down low behind the Oilers' net. Centered attempt by Roy, stolen by Ekholm. Bouchard now plays it up the right wing to Tomaszek. Tomaszek through the middle to Lazar. Lazar on his backhand. He'll fight off a check by the Leafs defense. Oilers' fourth line getting in on the forecheck here. Tomaszek keeps the play alive. Chased by Mangiapane, who has had a pretty good game tonight, I'd say. I like Mangiapane's game a lot. Puck through the neutral zone. Here's Alec Regula now. Regula to McDavid. McDavid steps away from a check. Into the middle to Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins to Regula, who has his first NHL point tonight. On Podkolzin's first goal of the third period. Podkolzin is 2 to give the Oilers a 3-goal lead here in the third. Here's Matthews now. He'll play it up the left boards. It'll come to Nyes. He'll try and get it in deep, and Darnell Nurse will use his speed to get by Domi. Around the boards to Nugent-Hopkins. He does a nice job to almost get it out. Stolen by Regula. He'll find Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins will send the puck in deep. Here's Nugent Hopkins now for the Oilers. He's getting leaned on by Matthews. Benoit goes in to grab it as well. Hyman tries to come up with it, and that's stolen by the Leafs, and Domi will bring it through the middle. Here's Nyes. Sends it in deep. Leafs will go for a change. Darnell Nurse, he'll flip it behind his back to Regula. Alec Regula applied pressure by Nylander. And here's Nurse now. He'll reverse to Regula, and you don't want to be running around here if you're the Oilers. Let's get an outlet going. Play through the middle of the ice. And here's Podkolzin to Savoy. Savoy with speed. He'll drop it. Here's a shot towards the goal, and Hildeby will easily stop that one. Matthews is washed. I think the Leafs are also really sick right now too. I think there's something going through their room. Might explain why the oh, it does say second period. My apologies. It's third period. All right, 15:01 to play here. Second line comes off. And the Oilers will put out their Janmark line. Maybe looking to get them going a bit. Here's a play in front. Frederick just missed out on it. Oh, and Ty Emberson overskated the puck. And here's Lawton. Scott Lawton now behind the Oilers' goal. Nice shot. Look at Tristan Jarry. Look at the reads that Jarry does. He's very active with his stick. Pokes pucks away. Prevents the cycle from getting started. I like that from Jarry. And here's Henrique now up the middle. Out of the reach of Frederick. Behind the Leafs net. Here's Janmark now. It comes out in front, just out of the reach of Trent Frederick, and the Leafs will try and skate it out of trouble. Across, here's Easton Cowan. High, flip into the Oilers zone. Ekholm, he's going to get pressured by a couple Leafs. Up the boards, not out, kept alive by McCabe. He'll play it across. Shot towards the net by Stetcher, goes wide. Evan Bouchard off the glass, doesn't get it out though. Through the middle, here's Adam Henrique. Lots of time. Gives it back to Bouchard. Off the boards to Henrique, and he'll just flip it high to the neutral zone and try and kill a bit of clock and hopefully get a change. And there's a whistle hand pass, I think. So we'll have a commercial break here. What's up, Cam, with the $5 super chat? Saw Stetcher's goal, Austin. Do you think he thought? What a great pass from McDavid. I think so. I think he is a double agent working for the Edmonton Oilers still. Podkolzin for Richard. I might have to get a Podkolzin jersey at some point. Honestly, I love Podkolzin so much. Sorry, I missed some comments. During play, I do miss comments and questions, so I think and Leafs fan, I'm very curious to know your thoughts. Do you think the captain should have went to Matthews first before Tavares? Because, Matthews was the guy. They signed Tavares as a free agent, and then they gave Tavares the C instead of Matthews. Do you think that played into anything? I'm genuinely curious. Yeah, dry in Pods, man. I said at the start of the year, if Pods shoots the puck a bit more, and he's actually just being a net front presence, both of his goals weren't really shots, if you know what I mean. What's he up to now? 9 goals on the season? Podkolzin jersey if he gets the hat trick. That wasn't the deal. It's Janmark or was it just Janmark? I think it's just Janmark. Oh, Frederick as well. I'll buy a Pods jersey if he gets a Hattie tonight. A Patty. I would love that. Me too, Liam. Me too. Yeah, I agree. It was just a nice little touch towards the net. Thought he deserved to see it first, even after Tavares got it. Could tell he was sorry for what he did, although it looks like we made the right decision at the time. Oh, that's right. He had that controversy when he was in Arizona where he mooned like a security guard or something. I forgot about that. Shows how time just kind of makes people forget about things. I think so too, Archangel. I think you saw, especially on that penalty kill that Edmonton had in the second, the saves that Jarry was making, I think that gave the team a big boost of confidence. I'm not going to lie. All right, off the face-off, puck comes towards Jarry. Behind the net to McDavid. McDavid spins away from Matthews. McDavid skates in front of his own net. Matthews can't check him off the puck. McDavid with speed. Across the ice to Nugent-Hopkins with a shot. Hildeby, he'll hang on to that with 13:38 to go. 30 shots on goal for Edmonton, 23 for Toronto. Oh, I'm with you, no clue. Love to see all the boys are smiling and having fun tonight. You absolutely love to see that. Love to see that from the group. And they're playing as a team. Look at McDavid smiling. He's smiling going off the ice. Offensive zone draw. Draisaitl's going to take it 1 point away from 1,000 in his career. Off the draw now. Puck comes loose. Leafs will take it. Skating up is Lorentz. Lorentz trying to get by Regula. Shot short side, and that goes off the outside of the net. I don't know if Jarry got a piece of that, but that went out of play. I agree. I think Jarry's going to have a pretty cool-looking Oilers-themed helmet when he gets his. Confidence is big, right? When guys start feeling good, I thought maybe those offensive explosions against Seattle and Winnipeg might have been the start of, just the team overall feeling good, knowing that when they do put the work in, they will be rewarded and get some goals. So happy to see it tonight. Happy to see Podkolzin with a couple. Happy to see McDavid smiling and laughing again because they looked miserable earlier this season. But there's a lot of hockey to play here. Here comes the puck to Podkolzin. He keeps the play alive. Hard rim around the boards to Regula. Along the half wall, Regula steps in, backs up to Draisaitl. Draisaitl, he gives it to Nurse. Nurse with a shot towards the goal, and that's stopped by Hildeby with 12:57 to go. That's true, Leafs fan. 100%. I'm very excited for the Olympics. It's going to be so good watching best on best again at the Olympics when it comes to the NHL players, that is. Is that the Leafs? 2-0-4 in their last 6 home games. Is that right? Am I going to watch curling at the Olympics? Absolutely. I love curling. I love watching curling. I also like playing curling, too. I haven't curled in a long time. I would love to get back into it at some point. Here's Benoit behind the Leafs net. Plays it forward. And the Leafs will get the breakout going. Lawton across the ice. Here's Thrun with a shot. Easy save for Tristan Jarry. Cohen into the middle. Stolen by Lazar. Lazar will play it behind the net. Stastney off the boards, deflected into the neutral zone and out of trouble by Mangiapane, and the Leafs, they're going to reset in their own zone. Oilers look like they're going to make a change here. Here's Evan Bouchard. He knocks that puck down with his glove, and then Toronto sends it back in deep. Ekholm picks it up. Matthias Ekholm sent through the neutral zone. Janmark plays it to nobody, and somebody went flying there. Adam Henrique looked like he tripped on one of those invisible banana peels. You got to watch out for those. They're all over the place sometimes. Evan Bouchard now with it. He's looking off Domi, plays it to his partner in Ekholm. Ekholm with the outlet pass off of a stick. Janmark, he's fighting for it against Nyes, and Nyes will send it in deep. Jarry can't come up with it. Domi does. Domi on his backhand. Plays it back to the point. Here's a shot towards the goal, and that deflects wide of the net. Here's Ekholm. He ties up his man. Bouchard trying to play it to Henrique. Henrique comes up with it. Here's Ekholm now with a high flip to the neutral zone, and here comes Janmark. Potential 2-on-1. Oh, Janmark had more time to set something up there, Janmark. What are we doing? Come on. Puck is sent in deep, and that's going to be icing on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Janmark might have had a 2-on-1, and he rushed a backhand pass that was stolen by Ekman Larson. Yeah, I wish I could do live streams more often. I'm happy you're all enjoying, though. Hit that like button. I'll probably have another live stream next week for the Bruins game. Maybe tomorrow against Montreal. I haven't decided if I'll be able to or not. Sadly, I can't do a stream on Tuesday for the Penguins game. I would have loved to, but I have a family family responsibilities. Here's Nugent Hopkins to Nurse, walks in, shoots, and that deflects wide of the net. Here's McDavid. He'll play it down low to Nugent Hopkins. Into the middle, Hyman trying to shoot it towards the goal, and that's sent out of trouble by the Leafs, but not deep. Here's Nurse at center. Here comes Draisaitl with the shot. Puck is stuck, and whoa, nice job by Hyman. He steals it. Comes to Nugent Hopkins. He walks in, sent across the ice. Where is it? Hyman with a backhander, and he scores! Zach Hyman makes it 6-2 for the Oilers. He's just an absolute dog on that shift, outworking the Leafs right now in every facet on the ice, and he's rewarded with a goal, kind of a weird one, kind of a fluky one. Puck bounced over Hildeby's shoulders, 6-2 for the Edmonton Oilers. Hyman does a great job stealing that puck. Nugent Hopkins brings it in, tried to center it to McDavid, and then, Hyman with just a backhand towards the net, and it goes off of Hildeby and in. I don't know why Nugent Hopkins tried to pass that. Hildeby just did not get against. Yeah, he's mad. That's a bad one for Hildeby, I think. And they're taking Hildeby out of the game with 10:32 to play. Oh, no. And who's going in? Who's going in for the Leafs? Who is that? How do you say that guy's name? Akniamov? My apologies, Leafs fans, if I don't know how to pronounce that goaltender's name. The Zamboni driver's going in. Oh, no. Steve Dangle would turn into the Joker if that happened tonight. All right. 6-2 Oilers. 10:20 to play in the third. Here's Stastney now. He'll play it up the left boards to Mangiapane to Lazar. Lazar trying to skate through trouble. That's going to be offside. If the Oilers touch it, they do with 10:11 to play here. Hildeby, tough game for Hildeby. He's been lights out for Toronto since he had to take over the crease after Joseph Wall got hurt, and that's a tough one. It's karma for you. Oh no, you have bad karma. What happened? Toronto sending the puck around the boards. Emberson trying to get it to Tomaszek. Tomaszek wrap around in front. Mangiapane fights for it. Lazar comes in as the extra man. He can't get a shot on net. And the Leafs just really struggling with just basic outlet passes right now. And the crowd's getting a little antsy. Hearing some boo birds, seeing some empty seats here. That's tough. Here's a play to Draisaitl. He'll send it back to Bouchard. Leon to Savoy. Savoy will step up, right wing. Savoy spins away from a check. Matthew Savoy to the blue line to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard now. Puck towards the goal. That deflects into the corner, and the Leafs will come up with it. Here's Matthias Ekholm for Edmonton now. Puck off the boards to Bouchard. Bouchard up the right wing. Savoy finds Draisaitl to Savoy. Savoy does a nice job across to Podkolzin, just out of his reach. Podkolzin on the forecheck. Sends it around. Draisaitl protects the puck with his body. Trying to play it forward. He's being hounded by two Leafs. It's kept alive. Bouchard across. Centered in front. And that's going to be held by... I can't pronounce his name. I'm really sorry. It's a really tough name for me to pronounce right now. But the Leafs have put their backup goalie in. Their fourth string, I should say. Hildeby was their third string. Aktiamov is I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised Steve is mad. Someone help me pronounce this name. Artur Aktiamov? I'm not sure, Leafs fan, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. No idea how that would have played out. So this is who is in the crease now for the Leafs. He's never played in the NHL. This is his first NHL appearance ever. With the Marlies this season, 7-5 record, .896 save percentage. He is clearly the fourth string goaltender. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was just curious. That's why I brought him up. I mean, if I was in Dangle's shoes right now, I would also be very mad. That's a tough one. It's been a tough game for the Leafs. They have not played very good in front of Hildeby, but I got to give credit to the Oilers too. And credit to Tristan Jarry, right? When the Toronto had that power play, they had a chance to continue to build some offense. The Oilers got the kill. Jarry made some big saves, and then Edmonton took over the game. It's all good, Leafs fan. You're allowed to be mad. You're allowed to be mad, Leafs fan. Listen, every fan of every team is allowed to express whatever they want in the chat, as long as you're respectful. No name calling, right? Don't be mean to anybody. Who's our fourth string? We have Jarry, Pickard, Tompkins, and Ingram. I would say Ingram is probably the fourth string for Edmonton. I mean, maybe, but we're looking ahead. We're looking ahead. Off the offensive zone draw, shot by Stastney, and there's a stop by Akhniamov. And here's Trent Frederick getting involved in a bit of rough stuff after the whistle. And yeah, Frederick, he's having some pushing and shoving against Benoit. Not sure what the ref's going to call here. I don't know if they're going to send Benoit off or just allow cooler heads to prevail a little bit. I don't think Frederick wants to fight right now, because if he gets punched where he had to get stitches, that's going to feel horrible. We'll have to see about Leon. 1 point away from 1,000. Off the offensive zone draw, they have the Henrique line out with Janmark and Trent Frederick. Frederick will step in. Henrique was kicked out of the draw. Here's Trent Frederick for the Oilers. Has had a better game. Not a great game, but a better game for Edmonton. Emerson towards the net. That's blocked. Sent in behind the Leafs net. Benoit and Frederick, they collide again. These two are kind of going at it here. Nice job by Frederick to get in on the forecheck. Puck comes to Emerson. He loses possession, and the Leafs are trying to get by. Nice job by Emerson to cut off that lane for Cohen. Nice job by Stastney. He moves the puck up the ice. Ty Emerson now with a hard rim around. Out of the reach of that goaltender's name. I can't pronounce it. Centering pass by Frederick. Can't get the shot off is Janmark Akhniamov. Boy, oh boy, that's a tough one. I apologize, Leafs fans. Stetcher trying to play it into the middle. Cowan, he does get it out. I didn't think he was going to be able to get it out, but it did bounce over the stick of Regula. Play around the boards. Here's McDavid to Hyman to Darnell Nurse. Nurse down low to Hyman. Leaves it for McDavid. Centering it out in front to Nugent Hopkins. Can't get a shot off. Here's Hyman for Edmonton. Puck comes to McDavid. Nice job by Matthews to poke it away, though. Regula steps up to keep the play alive. Darnell Nurse now to McDavid. Puck played back to Nurse. Nurse at the blue line. Looks for a lane. Shot towards the goal. Deflected wide by Nugent Hopkins. Here's Hyman now. Gives it to Regula. Trying to find Nugent Hopkins. Domi off of his stick. He'll just try and flip it out of trouble, as the Leafs just can't get anything going right now in the third period. Puck is played forward by Domi, but again, Zach Hyman on the back check. He's been all over it tonight. Here comes McDavid to Hyman. Hyman waiting for reinforcements. Finds Emerson with a shot, and it's stopped. Mangiapane almost got a piece of that one. 6:50 to play. 34 shots on net for Edmonton. Here comes Mangiapane. He spins away from some trouble here. Mangiapane now once again spinning away by McMahon. Plays it in deep. I've liked Mangiapane's game tonight. I think he's been very effective. Here's Lazar trying to play it out in front, and Edmonton's just winning every puck battle right now. Here's Stastney on the forecheck. He'll reverse it to Mangiapane. Andrew Mangiapane trying to play it. Loses it to Riley, and the Leafs fans are booing now. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. The Boo Birds are coming out. Tomaszek for Edmonton with a shot and a good save by the Leafs netminder. Bouchard will send the puck in deep. It's going to be chased after by Mangiapane. Brought up the ice by Benoit. Benoit trying to get it in deep. Checked by Bouchard. Here's Matthias Ekholm for the Oilers. Backhand up the middle of the ice, down the ice. That'll be icing. Whoa, they're going to call icing, but I thought Bud Colson had that beat. Never mind. Never mind. The Leafs net mine. I'm sorry. I'm trying to show respect to Atkin. Oh my God, it's so hard. Atiamov. Atiamov. Oh, I feel horrible. I feel horrible that I can't properly pronounce that name right now. Hey, what's going on, Seb? Good to see you again. Otyamov. Okay. When I actually see it spelled in a way where I can enunciate Otyamov. Okay. Oh boy. We do have a commercial break, so anti on off. Otyamov. Atyanov. They have said it, but it's for some reason it's really hard for me to actually say it, even though like they've said it on the broadcast. Say it a different way every time. Oh no. Jarry's played great tonight. I have been very happy with Tristan Jarry's game. He hasn't been tested in the third period, but the turning point of this game was in the second period. He made a lot of saves on a Leafs power play, and then Edmonton kind of just took over the game after that. So Jarry's been good. And one thing that is going really like kind of under the radar with Jarry tonight, not with everyone watching because you've all noticed and heard me talk about it already, Jarry is engaged with the play. If a puck is coming towards him or dumped in kind of near him, he'll poke check pucks away and prevent proper dump-ins and cycles, and he breaks plays up. And it's super underrated when goalies can do that. And it's allowed the Oilers to, get out of trouble in the defensive zone more often than not. I hope so. I mean, Pickard literally can't get any worse than he has been this season. That's right, Ahmed. That's right. Face off. They're going to redo it. Bring back Rolly the goalie. Well, Rolson did wear number 35, just like Tristan Jarry does. So you never know. I loved Rolison, man. He was so good. Here's the Oilers now. Matthew Savoy will bring it in. Savoy looking for Draisaitl for 1,000, and he missed the net. Oh, Leon, no. He was so close. If Draisaitl had scored for his 1,000 point, I would have absolutely lost my mind. Here's Robertson for the Leafs now. He'll backhand it into the neutral zone and find Lawton. Or Lorentz, sorry. Lorentz across the ice to Robertson. They took 2 shots away from the Leafs on the scoreboard, so I'll put them to 23. Here's Matthew Savoy for the Oilers. Backhands it towards the goaltender. Aktiamov is what the broadcaster said. Aktiamov. Toronto trying to get the play up the ice, stolen by Frederick in the neutral zone. Here's Regula now. He'll play it across to Nurse. Nurse reverses behind his own net. Darnell Nurse waiting for an outlet here. Letting his boys reset. Nurse into the middle to Janmark. Janmark, he's going to skate around a couple. I mean, that was dangerous. Janmark, okay. Regula up to Frederick. He'll give it to Henrique just behind him. Henrique can't get a good look on it. And here's Easton Cowan. He'll send it in behind the Oilers' goal. Regula on his backhand, around along the half wall, and here comes Matthews. Across, here's a shot and a good save by Jarry. Good read by Jarry. He was already set and in butterfly on that play that was right in front of his crease. Nice save by Jarry there. Here comes Janmark trying to get the puck in deep. He can't, and that puck is sent behind the Oilers' goal. 4:03 to play. Jarry's going to leave it for Regula. Bouchard steps on the ice and he'll take it. Here's Evan Bouchard. He's calling his guys back. Edmonton wants to reset. Nobody on Toronto really engaging on the forecheck here. Here's Nugent Hopkins, spins away from Domi. He'll give it to Mangiapane, who skates into Hyman. Mangiapane now. You might see Leon and Connor out together on the next shift here because it's Mangiapane, Nugent Hopkins, and Hyman. So I think they're going to put McDavid with Draisaitl and Podkolzin on their last shift of the game. Here's a centering pass. Hyman would have been all alone. Nice defensive play by Benoit. Oh, my God. Here's McDavid now. He's out there with, let's see who's all out there. Podkolzin, McDavid, there's Draisaitl. Called it. They're going to see if they can get Draisaitl his 1,000th point or Podkolzin his hat trick. Puck is going to be sent into the Leaf zone. Toronto kind of just playing keep away here. This is going to be the last shift of the game for the big guns. Let's see if Draisaitl can get his 1,000th point on this shift. Here come the Leafs now. Centering pass, backhand, another save, rebound in front. Jarry with 3 saves in a row. Good job by Tristan Jarry. Puck is sent into the corner. Emberson doesn't have juice to go get it. Here's Riley now. Down low to Robertson. Robertson spins away from a check. Shot by Riley towards the goal. Here's a backhand. Doesn't make it. And here's Podkolzin off the boards. 2-on-1. Draisaitl with McDavid. Draisaitl to McDavid. Oh, he flubbed the one-timer. McDavid centers it behind the net to Draisaitl. He can't get the shot on. Oh, come on. Here's Leon Draisaitl with 2:13 to play behind the Leafs net to McDavid. McDavid. He tries to get it back to Draisaitl. McDavid didn't flub the one-timer. Oh, that would have been for his hat trick. Draisaitl would have had the 1,000th point. That's so unfortunate. They tried. They had the look. They had a 2-on-1. What a play by Podkolzin to get that up, too, for that 2-on-1. Draisaitl, he gave it across. Oh, McDavid just fanned on that one-timer. Yep, it would have been. That would have been pretty cool. So that's it for Draisaitl probably tonight. I don't think he gets another shift with 2 minutes left here. Here's Darnell Nurse for Edmonton. He'll play it up the middle. Alec Regula now. Skates it in. Regula into the middle. Lazar towards the Leafs net. That goes wide. Darnell Nurse cycles it down low, and that's going to be taken by the Leafs here across to Cowan. Cowan with speed. Dumps it deep into the corner. Darnell Nurse off the boards. Mangiapane to Lazar. Great job by Mangiapane's had a really good game tonight. I know I've said it a few times. It's the little plays that he's making with his stick. These little touch passes have been really, really good. Here's a play through the neutral zone again, and that's stolen by Lazar. Good stick, and Mangiapane trying to toe drag around Thrun. He's not going to be able to do that. Here's Cowan. Sends it back. Thrun for the Leafs to Benoit. Back to Thrun with 1 minute to play here in the third period. Oilers with a 6-2 lead. They scored 3 goals in the third. Here come the Leafs 2-on-1. Here's a shot, and that's blocked by Emberson with 51.9 seconds to play. Here's the face-off. Here's McCabe now across the ice. Here's a shot, and there's a goal for Toronto. Makes it a 6-3 game. One-timer by Lorentz. That's unfortunate for Jarry's save percentage, but he's had a great game. We're not going to worry about that, folks. Don't like those late goals being given up. Of course, it's the Henrique line with Janmark and Frederick. Just had to be. Oh, yeah, Jarry, he just was late reacting to that one. Lorentz didn't even get a good shot on that. Jarry he just did not react. Didn't react to it. So 47.9 seconds left here. Puck is going to be sent into the Leaf zone. 43 seconds to go. No worries. Jarry played great tonight. We're not worried about that one. It would be nice if the bottom six just wasn't absolutely useless. It was all top six forwards tonight getting goals and points for Edmonton. This bottom six needs a shakeup. If Sam Bowman's going to make another move, you got to get something in the bottom six here. Here's Thrun. Toronto cycling it around again. Don't give up another one here. For the love of God. That would be horrible. Here's a shot towards the net. That's blocked. Trent Frederick trying to play it out of trouble. He does, down the ice. And that's going to be the end of the game. The Oilers will come out on top with a 6-3 victory in a game where you really, really wish they didn't give up the late one there. But you know what? Can't complain. Cannot complain. The Oilers played a very solid hockey game, in my opinion. Very solid. We'll get the victory chain. The Oilers win 6-3. He was just getting the save percentage back to 900. Huge win for the Oilers. They had 5 unanswered goals, 3 in the third period, 2 late in the second. Great game for Tristan Jarry. First win for Tristan Jarry in an Oilers uniform. Love that for Tristan Jarry, and he played good. We have the victory chain. Post-game fan reaction is going to be up within the next hour or two. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. Hit the like button on your way out, all right? Hit the like button on your way out. There's going to be lots to talk about in the fan reaction. I'm very excited to discuss this game. Great game from everyone, honestly, except for the Henrique Janmark line. We're just not going to discuss that one. GG's Leafs fan, GG's Leafs Nation, of course. Truly appreciate, all of you coming in tonight, being good sports, having some fun. That's what we do here on the Austin Hockey YouTube channel. We have lots of fun. The vibes, the memes. It's always a good time here, usually. We'll see you soon. Hit the like button on your way out, all right? Hit the like button on your way out, and we'll see you in the next one.